Hey, yo, what is going on, you guys? Got a brand new episode of Marvel Yap for you guys today. Today we're going to be going over the OTA from last week, as well as previewing the OTA from this week with a special guest you guys will see here in a little bit. And then we're also going to be breaking down all of the brand new cards of the season. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, we're joined by the hostest with the mostest, the beanie-wearing, blue-eyed king, the white dragon. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. But the man who's got the best mustache in a Marvel Snap, not my Dance. How are you doing today, Dance?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing absolutely well. I'm stoked. There's a lot of fun stuff happening today. And as we talked about last time, we've got a very exciting episode because it's not just us today, Tuck. We've got another amazing person joining us.
Who do we got joining us, Dance?
I'm waiting for the face to show.
No, Dance. Who do we have joining us?
I wish we knew. It's Husky Puppies, potentially one of the best ranked players, I think, in Marvel Snap. Consistently, I'd say probably number one, even though he actually probably never actually finished number one, according to what he's told me. But he's Husky Puppies is here joining us on Marvel Yap.
Hello. Lovely to be here.
Fair enough.
Watched Peacemaker because I'm a little concerned with that introduction you gave, Dance. It's yeah.
No. We'll give you backstory on it later. It's fine.
Are you sure?
It is.
I don't know what podcast I signed up for anymore. You know, what social media is this going up on again? I'm a little concerned.
We're going to be on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. All three.
Yeah, exactly. All the essentials.
Oh man! But what are we talking about today, though, Dance? We got Husky here, but we got to have Husky here for a reason.
Who's scared?
We have
scared
Husky
now.
Here
at
he
gunpoint.
might leave.
At gunpoint.
he might leave. Who knows?
We're going to talk about the OTA that just happened this last week because it was an OTA. But we also just last night we just got the notes for the OTA that's not live in the game yet, but they are going to be going live as of I think it's Thursday. They'll be going live.
Yes. And
then we'll be talking about just all the new season cards because we've got I think it's technically 11, but it's also like 8 if you ignore a few of the generated cards. But we got a lot of stuff we're gonna have to talk about today. Gonna be a longer yap, and I'm ready for this. Y'all down to talk about this stuff?
You just want to go ahead and jump right into it?
Let's do it.
Well,
because
the OTA happened.
This was one of the This was one of the changes we all expected, I feel like, right? Though?
Yes.
Everyone, I saw a couple people be rather surprised. It was very good in the decks that it went in, but I feel like this one hadn't caught on as much as some of the others. Like, I know Roram used it to great success in some of his decks, but this one wasn't everywhere.
Yeah. So Black Cat, right, going from a 1/5 to a 1/4. I mean, maybe it wasn't ever. It just felt like as soon as we got this, it felt like just a free thing that didn't need that one extra. It kind of felt like Hydra Bob did at first, where it was just like, this was just oftentimes it felt like a free inclusion. But again, you're right, there was still a cost. You had to lose it. You use it or you lose it. But I don't know.
I'm not surprised by the change, but it wasn't like, oh man, I just lost to a 1/5 Black Cat. It's the end of the world. Like, it wasn't that kind of feeling like I had. Like, it had the con of the 1/5 of like, if I don't play it now, it disappears. Whereas like when Bob was a 1/5, the downside of Bob is if I snap, this card moves. Like that was the downside there. So it felt freer to play Bob at a 1/5, which is why they changed it. I feel like kind of quicker than Black Cat. Kinda, sort of, but like, I don't know. I think the end of turn decks, like I still was seeing it in this, but I think it was more in like the Darkhawk decks and using it just as like a plug kind of one for like tempo, where I think maybe that's where they're like, well, maybe at a 5 point of power, it's too much. We want more Bob competitiveness.
Yeah, Iron Patriot and Terrax were just phenomenal inclusions because,
Yeah.
Winning a lane is a lot easier when you have the biggest one drop in the game that doesn't lose you it at the end like Martyr does.
Yeah.
It's even better again than like a Maw, because at 2 points of power, is completely fine. It's just like, okay, you either use this card now or, get 2 more points of power, and then you can't play here for the rest of the game. And you also have to play it. You also have 3 turns to play this card, which is, it was bad. But yeah, I liked this one. This felt like a good change, but I think a lot of these changes in this OTA this last week were, I don't know, just weren't super exciting.
Yeah, they weren't, like, some of them definitely have had an impact on the meta. Like, well, one we'll get to, which is the biggest one of the OTA, has, brought up other new types of play, other new styles of Cerebro, spoiler alert, as Dance disappears on us. But the other card that got changed is Sauron went from a 1-3 to a 1-2, another deck that overall was performing very well with the Sugi Sauron deck. I don't know necessarily if Sauron itself needed that point of power reduced, or if it's also maybe kind of leading more into they wanted less likelihood for you to have that prio going into final turn for that Negasonic kind of situation, for, I don't know, the Eliath value too, like, which I don't think necessarily that deck's still running Eliath. I think there's like 2 versions of it. One of it's still running Eliath, and one of it's not running Eliath. I think it's a little bit more small ball tech Husky, I think, kind of, right?
Yeah, I'm generally pretty surprised if Sauron's running Eliath at this point. Negasonic, very, very, very common. But yeah, I've seen it. It's... I'd have to ask Zenade. He's sort of my go-to Sauron guy at this point. I think, honestly, my theory on why they nerf Sauron rather than another card in there is, like, the best thing in a Sauron deck to do is Sauron, so they kind of want to reduce that high roll. Also, 0 as a 1-3 versus Sauron as a 1-3, you'd almost always rather have Sauron to, equalize the effect to power thing. So, makes sense.
Felt like when they hit Calling Wing, kind of, where it's like, really? You hit this card? But then I'm like, yeah, this is, but you're just always getting the benefit out of Calling Wing here, right? And with Sauron, you are always getting the same, or at least a similar style of benefit, was my logic there. And so I think it made sense. I think they still kind of feel a little weird, because again, they're hitting a card that technically does have a debuff, but I didn't think the debuff was that heavy. It's a debuff by quotation. Quotation. Sorry.
That's like saying Mr. Negative is a debuff because he makes your Infinite 6 power. You just build exactly the right way. You're fine.
But that's exactly the reason why he was a 1-3 though, because it was technically a debuff.
Like, yeah,
you're
sure,
right.
We're in draft mode, but that's
because what do you mean draft mode? They're working on it. They told us that last year.
Yeah, sometime soon. Just you wait.
Yeah, soon. Soon. TM. One of my favorite phrases. Just, sometime soon. And it's one of the worst phrases. Again, I've been rewatching Stranger Things, and I love how 11. Spoilers, you haven't seen season 2, but she's like, when is soon? You said soon at day 10. You said soon at day 100. You said soon at day 350. When is soon? I'm like, yeah, that's a good question there, 11.
I've watched, I think, seasons 1, 2, and 3, except the season 1 season finale. I don't know if there's a season 4 out yet.
There definitely is. Season 5's coming out, I think, later this month. That's fine.
I still take issue with their representation of the Demogorgon, who is in D&D not what they represented. He's a 2-headed monkey man with tentacles. Look it up.
I take more issue with them calling the Mind Flayer what it is in the end. Doesn't even.
I haven't seen that one, but it's like a real big guy. It's that's all I've seen. It should be more like Squidward.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't call it Squidward. It seems like a simple answer, but anyway.
Supergiant losing a point of power, kind of same with the Sauron kind of situation. We're going to hit cards in that deck, and, Supergiant, we're seeing, I don't know, too much Supergiant.
When did they buffer to 4/7? How long ago was that?
A while ago.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
I feel like when they did that, they were like, this might be a mistake. We don't know. We'll just have fun.
Sauron, or Supergiant rather, has always been one of those cards that especially on its initial release when it was like only 5 power,
Mhm.
was very, very hard to use. You got to predict your opponent's plays, and Negasonic Teenage Warhead gets a lot of value out of there. So I'm not surprised that it's lasted a while, because it takes time. It's not like, hey, wait a minute, I can just put Human Torch in my deck, double it 80 times, and then you lose automatically. Supergiant sort of takes time to realize the power potential.
Shout out to Stefan too. Stefan's one of like I feel like the
Oh,
original
Stefan.
people like to really utilize Supergiant in the right way.
Oh yeah, big shout outs to Stefan. Some of the coolest cooks I've seen. He used to make a lot of pool 2 decks, Supergiant decks, and then he made 34 card Monty. And now I don't know how to feel. Which, for those of you guys who don't know, is Erisham, which I hate with a passion, plus Thanos,
Based.
plus Agamotto, and it's like, random.
Why would I want that when I could do 37 card Monty and put Kang in the deck too, right? That, like, come on. It's not good. It's very much not good.
No, it's
I mean,
not good, but I lose to it, and I don't like it.
That's fair. I don't like it either. I think Airsham sucks as well. I'm not going to argue with you in the slightest.
We are not Airsham stands on this channel, so we're totally
You're good.
Totally here. And then Eliath lost a point of power, warranted for 6-9 to go to 6-8, or I mean, Eliath, I wasn't seeing in like a large pool of decks, but like in those strong Supergiant decks and Erisham, like I did see it more regularly in those, and I guess it was the like they wanted the feels bad of, you know, Eliath happening to be less on yourself, you know.
They called this one out as potentially like this was potentially one of the strongest or like the best 6 drops in the game. At a 6-9 is what they said. And I thought that was a really interesting note.
I'm just going through the 6 drops. It's like, most 6 drops aren't all that good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we look through them, most of them are hyper synergistic, or, you know, very, very, very tricky to use. Eliath just sort of goes in things, like Erisham, and, you know, I think it would probably still be fine at a 6-9, but yeah, Eliath feels bad to lose to. Like, you're doing your cool shit, and then, your cards don't do anything anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least it's not the what was what we have originally, right? It was the 6/5 destroy all enemy cards played here this turn, including the unrevealed ones.
You remember it was data mined at a 5 cost as well?
I remember that.
Oh
my gosh.
God.
Oh, also, they didn't say it was the best. They said it was they said it is too close to the best generic 6-cost card in the game, and they said they want that not to be true of a tech card. That's to make sure I'm quoting Second Dinner correctly here.
Makes sense.
Too close to it. Okay. And then this is one of the main highlights of the OTA.
The only one, honestly.
From card change. Mercury going from a 2-2 to a 3-4, which definitely has changed the tempo for this card, but hasn't necessarily obliterated this card. I think this card still is fairly playable. It is seeing usage, like I said, in like Cerebro 4, which Husky actually did a lot of testing with Cerebro 4 this past week, and you've actually had like a good chunk of success with Cerebro 4, right?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely did. Jawala, sort of the high infinite Cerebro guy, for better or for worse there, sent me this list and was like, oh yeah, it turns out putting Mercury and Shadow King in a Cerebro deck, or really any deck, does well. And hey, looky there, they both cost, they're both 4 power. Mercury probably deserved this. I'm a little bit worried about the state of high level move, because it was already the best deck to do before the Mercury nerf.
Mm-hmm.
But now we get into a little bit of, okay, this card was nerfed, so it's less expected, so there's more stuff for it to counter, which means if you're running it, you're doing better. Kind of like how Shadow King, it's like there's a lot more zombie stuff, and now Shadow King's so strong now. So it almost doesn't feel like a nerf as much as it should.
I think the biggest thing is what Second Dinner mentioned, that they don't like that players get to put this into their decks, quote unquote, for free without like much of a cost in terms of deck building. And there's a big difference between that 2-cost and a 3-cost slot. And I think honestly, she makes more sense as a 3-cost, because this was one of the cards, right, that they technically it didn't seem like they planned on this card entering the game, right? It was like Mercury and Hellion that released if people didn't upgrade their device, then people could get them. And then you had them and you could upgrade, but you just couldn't like use them or whatever because they technically hadn't been put in the game yet. The second dinner had to release this early, which also made it so we got Mercury Cannonball and all that stuff early. And I was like, my question was when this change happened was, did they mean for this to get out at a 2-2 at all? Like, I wonder if we had waited for a bit, would we have seen it at a 3-4 anyway?
They probably would have nerfed it sooner if it was meant to come out as a 3-4, I would say. I think just the slot ability of Merc plus Cannonball was probably more than they expected. And now since we're going into a move season, you know, maybe we tone back the thing that beats up on move, especially at, it's like, there's a difference between like lower level and higher level play of Mercury. Having Mercury is oftentimes not enough against a move deck. It's very, very helpful, but it's not like an auto win, sort of like how Mobius is against negative most of the time. It's I don't know. I'm just worried about move coming into next season. They're getting some strong stuff, and it's already a strong deck.
Yeah, and I wonder too, because one of the main like gripes I had with Mercury's release is I felt like she was a little too late at first because we were in such a heavy Sam Wilson meta, and they were nerfing Sam Wilson repeatedly, and it was like this could have potentially been a stop all card for Sam Wilson if it had released earlier. Because opposed to like standard move, like you said, has options against Mercury. If you trap the shield for Sam Wilson, you're pretty much done with the Sam Wilson stuff. So it was interesting how they did release this card out, I think, during that time where Sam Wilson, you know, changed like 3 or 4 different times with his shield going from a 1 cost to a 0, from his starting power, the shield having power. Like, there was a bunch of different options there. So I do wonder if Mercury had been released a little bit earlier. Like you said, maybe Mercury would have been adjusted to a 3 cost earlier too. But yes, new season's a bunch of move cards. They're going to change Mercury. Which
it also feels like they're just like, they have like a delay on like, oh, hey, we would love a card that answered, you know, Sam Wilson in the meta. We would like, and we get Mercury we get Mercury like half a year later. Oh, we are dealing with Hella everywhere. Man, I'd love if we had an answer to that. Half a year or maybe even like a year later, we get Stardust. So it's just like a lot of stuff like that where it's like, oh, you're right, that could be a good answer. We'll wait for like half a year or whatever, and we're probably going to get an answer for the energy cheating.
I mean, I think they said it's like development's like 2 to 3 months out. So like they maybe had the answer like to our, you know, to Sam Wilson.
Further. I want to say it's 9 months out.
Or if it's 9 months out too, like you said, like, so we have Sam Wilson made.
Or no,
we're gonna need a counter for Sam Wilson at some point. So we're just gonna put this down the pipeline, see if we don't need to nerf Sam Wilson. Maybe, you know, wait until something like this happens. And then we'll change X23 to make X23 a 1/1 from a 1/2.
This card, I'm glad it got. I think this has been the best card in Destroy for a while, but I also think that Moira is a target if you want to really talk about actually hurting Destroy. I think.
No. It's like X23 is you can do without Moira. I think you can make an okay deck. If you're not doing X23 things, your deck slows down so much. Like, Moira's nice for that high roll of, you know, when you have death in hand. But if I really wanted to hurt Destroy, I'd probably go after maybe Venom after X23. Yeah, 3/1.
Didn't they talk about, there was like a leaked version forever ago where it was like 4/5?
4/5 Venom was a crazy old.
Where was that from?
OTA.
Like, that was. It was like something that they said they just deleted or whatever, and they said they decided last second not to do or whatever, and it made it
had a different buff and everything too. But that eventually
was
did
like
roll
that
out.
Celine one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's fair, probably as well. I just also feel like this is, if you were a new player wanting to get into, I think Destroy should always be a very good deck to play. I think that's just a very good place for Marvel Snap to exist at if Destroy is good. Saying you basically need to get X23 and mainly that. It was kind of just like unfortunate. I'm glad that it is like a little bit worse now, but still, you probably still want it.
Oh, you definitely do. I do worry about Destroy being good, not at like a high level, because high level you kind of get the song and dance down. Okay, you're how much does death cost? Can they do null plus Deadpool last turn? And then you Shadow King a lane, you're kind of okay. I kind of would think of Destroy as like the pub stomper of decks, because you get a lot of those cards early. They gave out X23 and Null for free not too long ago, and it's kind of one of the first decks you can build.
They also just gave out the X23 again into like I want to say it wasn't Grand Arena, it was Sanctum Showdown, I think.
Yep.
Because I had a free to play account and I unlocked X23 for free because they just had her as a variant, and you thankfully don't get the base card if you get the variant. So good stuff.
Because if you're running an unoptimized deck and you go into a Destroy deck, which is pretty easy to build, like just from a fundamental what cards go in here sort of thing, and kind of easy to play, is like, oh, I play the Destroy cards in the Destroy lane. Yeah, there's definitely nuance, but like I do worry about running into Destroy as a new player. So I was fine with Destroy. It was probably a little strong. I'm glad this happened though.
I think it's a preemptive change, too, for the December season. I think they're looking at maybe giving us time to adjust maybe to X23 being a 1-1 instead of a 1-2, into the surplus of Destroy and like Destroy discard hybrid decks that are going to be coming out, which gives us honestly some more utility with, I think, like X23 being a 1-1, it can be a better target for some of these cards that are just dead right now. Like, this is complete copium, like I'm going to say here, but like a Silver Samurai target for better stuff in December at a 1-1 opposed to a 1-2 is something that can be potentially better for that style, since in December, you're going to be looking at trying to do Destroy and discard in the same deck to get some of these really cool combos to go off.
I think you're completely right. That is copium.
Oh, it is. Oh, it definitely is.
Okay, it's cope, but hear me out. You have not experienced true joy in Snap until you have Silver Samurai someone's Cerebro, and then they just cry and shake. Yes. And it doesn't even hit Mystique ananymore. It is if Cerebro.
That's actually true.
Well, it's beautiful. It's so funny. I'm a bad person for that. I don't care.
No, I used to play the mill where it was Silver Samurai, Black Bolt, Moon Knight.
I loved that for a sec. It wasn't like retrospective wasn't great, but the disc, like, it was Dakin. You could do some like Dakin mill stuff as well, and that was fun.
Yeah, it was pure cope, but you know we made it work.
Just like this next change.
Leader went from a 6-4 to a 6-5. So it's a better card for you to get from the raft now.
That's true. I've seen some people do something with like Sandman Wiccan Leader. I think Chamo is doing that, but it's certainly a thing you can play on 6.
Best thing I could say about this is that I use Leader to hit Infinite on my free-to-play account now.
Nice.
There you go. That's all I could say. Like, it wasn't good, and I realized that, but I was like, you know what? I can.
It's a high Evo meta card. That's what it is. High Evo and a huge First Steps Galactus meta, and you can play your leader.
Just wait till we get Fin Fang Foom Copium. It's definitely not just going to be a hell card. It's fine.
Jesus.
Yeah. Fin Fang Foom.
Definitely not.
Husky knows all about Fin Fang Foom.
There are some people in my social circle who it's like, I don't know why they love that card so much. I was also stuck, unable to shut down my stream.
This is what I was gonna
with a big, just giant image of live Fin Fang Foom reaction up here, and then you go, something like that, and I couldn't shut it off, and I
Well, if y'all want to see when Husky can't shut off his stream, y'all want to check whatever apparently he actually can, or he's actually choosing to be live, maybe he isn't. Go over to twitch.tv/HuskyPuppies35, no spaces in there, where you'll be able to see one of the best players of Marvel Snap absolutely killing it, and then being forced to make and play really bad decks as well by chat sometimes. But he's doing good. He has a good time with it. And you will have a good time as well if you go over there. So do it. His links are in the description.
Yeah, definitely chuck Husky out.
Chuck.
Actually, chuck him out as he chucks out all these. His mods be banning people, but it's all for fun. It's not
true.
personal. It's not. And every
It's
day
not
is Husky's birthday. By the way, every single day is.
Yeah, it
Husky's
is.
birthday.
Yeah, so if this video goes up on, I believe it's November 4th, right? It's his birthday. So make sure you go down below and you do.
Because he will be live at the time of this video. Not the time this video is live, but he will be live today. So make sure when you guys do check out Husky's channel, you guys wish him a happy birthday. Nothing will happen to you.
Don't even know that I'll be live that day.
Nothing will happen to you if you do message
Certainly
it.
as Husky's birthday is November 4th, he will be live on the day of this uploading. Anyway, speaking of 4, Nakia went to a 3-4. Which wasn't, she's not getting played really much. Like, it's not much better, but I think that she probably should have been 4 power for a hot second now, and them moving Viv up made them realize that they needed to put Nakia back in that spot as well.
Husky's still recovering from these birthday wishes.
He just strong-armed changing my birthday. I don't know how to feel. It's like, those are, all right, yeah, Nakia. What do I have to say about a 3-4 card that's not going to see play? Nothing else deserves commentary for the last 2 minutes of the... You guys are, it's like, I have a lot of liars in my chat, and you guys are making them look bad. I gotta mod you guys.
So you're not a fan of the Nakia change? That's what you're saying?
I don't care. Sure, yeah, whoa, yeah. Speaking of segues, this card's bad.
Bad.
There you go.
Next.
No, what do you mean? It's 4 power now. This card's great now. It's 5 power.
Better than 4 power?
5 power.
This card's bad.
Yeah, I tried to make this work in Phoenix Forest last night, and it just doesn't take the slot anymore. Like, it didn't take the slot necessarily originally. It was just cool at the time. Be like, oh, new card, I can do this in Phoenix Force things. But like, maybe with Man Spider, since whenever Man Spider merges, cool things happen. But
I'm gonna cope.
Merges,
yeah,
or...
it's separate text.
Doubles, yeah.
So it's the on reveal period, and then when this card merges.
Similar to Penny Parker's thing. So I'm spoiler alert for when we talk about Man Spider. I have Penny and Spider in the deck because if you play them, you can go into a turn 4 Man Spider.
Or you could just Agony, and then.
I mean, yeah, you go Agony, you go Agony into playing a different lane. You play Penny, play Spider, then you put Man Spider on the Agony lane.
Oh, I was just saying you don't play Penny because she's not good.
You see, you do both. You do both. It's still. I don't know. It's not good.
You do Hulkbuster instead, right?
I cut Hulkbuster for a good card. Is what I did in my deck. And I still have Penny for reasons.
And then the last change we have is Electro into a 3/5, which honestly, with Man Spider, potentially this is a potential synergistic card, but like when you're playing Electro decks, maybe if you were still playing the older Galactus version with Electro, it would feel better to have 5 power on the board into your Hobgoblin, into Galactus. But like the more standard version of Electro stuff you're doing right now, you're blinking this card out. Like that's really what you're doing. So like the point of power is just kind of meh.
I feel like they're just trying to put more eyes on it. It's not getting better because everyone's using it the same way. The best buff they have done to Electro, I think in the last year, is when they made Enchantress a 5 cost.
I was gonna say Blink going up by a point of power because like you really want Blink in Electro.
That's fair.
You should have if you kept him 3/3, you could have set him up for a Lady Deathstrike lane. Like I feel like that still could have been copium, but like you hit First Steps Invisible Woman and stuff now, which also is not getting as much play at the moment. Like, but you're playing Electro on 3, so like your opponent's not having all their combos set up for that Lady Deathstrike going into 4 anyways. So that's why, yeah, like Husky's saying with Blink, and then the Enchantress is an interesting shout too, but this card is just going away.
Yeah, the whole point of it's just to go. It's just, I don't know. You don't use, like, even use Cersei. You'd use Cersei before you really want to do anything, and that's still not a good card. It's just like, it's just not good.
No, it is a feels bad, which this is all of the stuff for the past OTA. we actually have a brand new OTA that we just got notes for today. For the Golden Gauntlet, they made sure everyone got their notes prior to the Golden Gauntlet instead of it being on the Thursday, so people have enough time to prep decks. Of course, the OTA will not be live until Thursday, so this will be a lot more theory crafting and building up until the OTA's release, which normally is around that like 5 or 6 EST window on Thursdays. So you'll have about 24-ish hours to get your deck set for the Golden Gauntlet, because you do have to submit your Golden Gauntlet deck on Friday, I believe around the 8 p.m. EST window. So it's going to be some just rapid testing there, or just theory crafting stuff right now. But the first card we have is going to be Debris, which went from a 3/3 to a 3/7, and instead of it being a 3/3 adding rocks to both players' side of the board globally to other locations, now it is a 3/7 and only adds rocks to other locations on your side of the board.
Rest in peace, Clog.
I love the fact they specifically talked about Debris inside of... Debris is a card that it's basically always banned, apparently, inside of these limited time game modes.
Yes.
Because they want your opponent to be able to play in those games. And they said, which is a fair thing, they just said they want Clog to require more investment with stuff, and they even throw in like Viper as a thing they want you to use. The 7 power is a lot, which is cool. It really gives, it's kind of just similar now to Rhino. Now you've got Rhino, and then Rhino's just, I don't know, cooler sister, I guess.
I mean, this card may not completely go away. There's like one guy at high level who's doing a Hans Moleman Patriot Victoria hand deck.
Oh, I love that.
And was already including Debris as sort of get some rocks on your own side. I think it had Moonstone as well in there. But, I mean, this card was probably one of the best cards in Clog. And Clog, as much as I enjoy both playing and playing against Clog, it's an archetype that shouldn't be good. If Clog is good, people don't like it. People don't like it if Clog is bad. People just don't like Clog. So, I'm glad they made this change.
And Debris at 7 power is no joke, though. Like, that's still like a good stack of power. And I think something we need to keep in mind too is like Merlin's play rate is still very high right now. So like this still gives you some of that Merlin value. And as we do transition from a werewolf season we were already in to potentially an even better werewolf by night season, I think this card still will get play. Of course, like Husky said too, like the Clog archetype does lose a main core engine, with Debris being one of those factors, but I think this card will just be used, like you said, just differently. Maybe you are doing more of that, Strange Supreme stuff, or just the Werewolf Merlin kind of things.
Yeah, it's fair. I think this is, which by the way, I know Husky was just like, yeah, I'm happy with this. Actively didn't sound happy. I think that's valid to point out. But
it's good for the game, As much as I would like the game to cater towards my needs, it's good if people enjoy playing the game that, aren't me. Because, those are the guys that watch the ads that pay my money. So it's like, I don't know. I like Clog. It's losing. It's not really losing Debris, but losing that consistency piece of, if you don't draw a Green Goblin and Viper, you can still, put 2 things on their side, and now it's a lot less consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which I will say, even in terms of like them not doing things in your, in terms of like maybe what the high elo people and yourself, right, would appreciate. For what's worth, I'm just gonna say, moves dodged nerfs in this OTA.
Oh yeah. But
which spoilers, but I'm just saying that now. But they actually call out the next change. They said the next change is because the card is strong. It's so strong at high levels. They wanted to take action against it, and they specifically mentioned the Golden Gauntlet for it, which I think is an interesting point.
Yeah. Which Misery did not need to be a 4/9. Like, I think in general.
I liked her being a 4.
Yes, I liked her being a 4-9, but Misery did not need to be a 4-9. When they changed Misery, they were talking about Misery, like, yeah, you know, we're gonna buff Misery. This card's like not seeing enough play or something. I was like, what? I was like, who's not playing? Like yes.
I was having a great time. I was already playing that as like a core in my Victoria hand things. I had the same reaction to this as the one I did with like the Mercury change, where it's like, yeah, move isn't getting enough play, and I'm like, the only reason move isn't getting enough play at high level at North America is because we've sort of made, like, you guys know the prisoner's dilemma. It's kind of like that, where it's like, what if we just all don't play move and we can have more fun with the game?
Unless you're Merit.
And yeah, there's like 2 guys who play it, and I think Merits might have switched to like Sauron stuff or something like that. So now there's 1 guy we gotta bully him out of move. And we're all having a better time because of it, and I'll take it. But it's again,
it's this thing where the second dinner, they don't typically they're not balancing around that top high level stuff, which it makes sense. It would be nice, but it makes sense. And I'm not even someone who's in that top level, but I was already thinking that Misery was a good card before she went to the 4-9. And so this is one that's like, they even mentioned this the higher level thing. I'm like, this feels just like a card that shouldn't have been a 4-9 in the first place. I don't know. It was good. It was chilling.
It is wild to me, the difference between like a 4-9 and a 4-10 in this game, just because Misery is almost all upside, like, oh no, it got juggernauted into your other lane and now it kills. No, that doesn't happen. There's really no downside to this card. You just kill the Hood, you kill a Mirage, you do great things.
The downside is you have to put Hood in your deck.
Oh no, one of the best 1-drops. I get double value. No.
Which is crazy too, coming full circle on this card, because like this released at a 4-7 and got buffed at the time of its release to a 4-8 because they weren't seeing it perform to like expectations, and now look at it, you know? Like that's just something to kind of look in mind, like in retrospect here. So we're not surprised that, you know, Misery ended up with, you know, this little change. I think, of course, it takes away a point of power from some of those main decks, you know, the Victoria hand, some of, you know, the Fudge Show deck and stuff too. Like people are just some of those staples in it, but like still solid. And then Cosmic Ghost Rider lost a point of power, 5-7 to a 5-6. Makes a lot of sense. Like just
cool. Yeah, this was I think I would have argued before the OTA, like if we didn't have the notes, which actually when we were originally planning this episode, we didn't have the notes. We didn't know we would have the notes. Found out we would have the notes a few hours before. But when we were going through this, I was gonna say that Cosmic Ghost Rider I think was just the best card in the game, in my personal opinion.
Best, I think the best card, the best card in the game right now is Human Torch, but yeah. I think best tech card probably, yeah. Or up, he's
Juggernaut.
You think Juggernaut still?
It's like Juggernaut is nuts, man. Juggernaut Shadow King. I like Cosmic Ghost Rider. We sort of had a wave of tech hits, and then Cosmic Ghost Rider was like, why hasn't anything come for me yet? And this makes a lot of sense. But
that's part of the reason why I would have said it, because it just felt like the one. I don't know. There's like a meme where it's like all the. It's like a gun range, right? And then everything else around this one thing gets shot, and the last guy's like, wait, how am I still here? And then just one last shot comes out for it, and that's just what felt like was happening for Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Oh yeah, I think Juggernaut's probably the better card at, maybe this is a high level thing, just because if you can predict their plays, you got a lot of value out of it. And Juggernaut fundamentally beats more things than Cosmic Ghost Rider does. Cosmic Ghost Rider hits a lot of things very hard, but Juggernaut hits cards in a lane, and that's everything.
And we're
what do you mean? If you're predicting where you're... Oh, I was going to make a joke about saying if you're predicting where people are playing their cards, why not just play Drax? But what were you going to say?
What I was going to say is people are already playing around Cosmic Ghost Rider the way they're ordering their cards. Whereas, like, with Juggernaut, you can play around Juggernaut with the way you order your cards, too. But it's a different kind of situation, for sure. Like Cosmic Ghost Rider, well, if I don't play my card here in this way, Cosmic Ghost Rider can't affect this, and I continue to do my combo. Whereas with Juggernaut, well, maybe I just didn't draw my cards in the right way, so I don't have Prio into this now, and Juggernaut offsets what I want to do on my final turn here, or maybe even something earlier on. So I think I see what you're saying too, like Husky, with Juggernaut being the better tech card. And but we all are in agreement that we are not surprised that Cosmic Ghost Rider lost a point of power.
God, no.
Yeah.
Very good card.
That's fair. Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, that Juggernaut could have easily been going to a 4-4 in this OTA, I think, at least.
What about Vision going to a 5-9 from a 5-8?
Dude, let's go. Season of move cards. Let's go. I'm stoked.
Play Hellion. I mean, like, this is neat. You can.
I love that. This is neat.
Old Shuri, right?
I don't know. Like,
there you go. This is a point. It's a free point of power. This could have been done a while ago. It doesn't hurt anything. Does it matter though?
I mean, you can Luna Snow into it. You know, there's an argument to be made with Superior Spider-Man. You get to ramp into 5s, and there aren't a lot of good generic 5s that, hey, looky there, being able to repositioning your stuff is pretty good. Maybe that, I mean, like, I'm not too excited, but it's not the worst thing to do, and this is an early series card, so nice.
Yeah, Iron Patriot value as another thing I think of too. Just card
Yeah,
generator.
there
and
you
stuff.
go.
Like...
There's the real difference.
There you go.
I get a 2/9 now if I win the lane with Iron Patriot. I can move. That seems pretty decent.
That's pretty good.
That's fair. Yeah. All right. There's some good stuff there at least. I don't know. I'm glad that this got a point of power. Doesn't make a big difference.
If it was old Shuri, like if we had like Taskmaster at 5 cost and I saw this, I'd be like, okay, I can kind of see the rhyme and reason, but like also at the same time, with how vertical our decks are at the moment and the power in general we have in the game and the abundance of Shadow King, like there's just so much, I think, when I'm just thinking about the Shuri stuff. But a point of power, okay. Still better than like the Electro change in a sense, maybe. But the first Ghost Rider went from a 2-6 to a 2-7. Dance, how do we feel about this? I know you've been doing a lot more testing with this
Dude,
card.
I'm so stoked about this change. It isn't good, but I'm so stoked about it. I won't even front. Like, this card still sucks, but oh my gosh, am I happy about this change.
Are we happy for the same reason, though? What are you going to
I want
this card in?
I'm either doing my triple Ghost Rider deck or it's Cerebro 7. It's Fire Lords.
Cerebro 7, baby!
Let's go.
Let's go!
Dude, I had a Cerebro 6 list I was using with, like, when Danger came out, I was doing stuff with Firelord as well. Then they brought Firelord at point of power, which was good, but then I couldn't play it in Cerebro 7. But then you hit the first Ghost Rider, and now we're cooking.
Funny enough, I did actually find a good Cerebro 6 list. It didn't have first Ghost Rider. It had Galactus, Cannonball, Mercury stuff. So it...
so what you're saying is you found a good Cannonball Mercury deck. Got it.
No, it had Galactus.
Sorry,
it was the Galactus C6 list, and it was genuinely a Cerebro 6 list with Galactus as a backup plan, and it was beautiful. God, I loved it.
I
And
do
now
like those types of lists.
I'm so excited. I'm going to make an Affliction C7 deck because, funny enough, Ajax works in C7 if you position it right. Don't ask.
Wait,
me
what?
how. No, that's a real thing.
Wait, no, I'm asking you how.
Oh, okay. Would you like me to? Do you know how that works or not?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Have you seen the Captain Carter Cerebro interaction?
Oh,
Mhm.
There's something weird there, right? Where you can technically let
certain ongoings happen after everything else. Those ongoings are Cerebro, Captain Carter, Ajax, and Diamondback. They apply left to right. So if Cerebro is to the left of Ajax, think like something that Heimdall would move before Ajax, it will see Ajax's power before Ajax's ability goes off. So if you put Cerebro to the left of Ajax, and then put Ajax down and afflict everything down that was 7 to 6 power, Ajax will still get the Cerebro buff and his normal buff. That is a cool interaction that will never earn you any cubes. Yeah, that's how it
God, I'm so playing right. So you're going like high Evo stuff then with this as well. You can even do like Thing, high Evo.
That's a neat idea. I was gonna do like first Ghost Rider, Fire Lord, Groot is a good one.
No, it's not. You said Groot is a good one. That's just not true ever. Even in Cerebro 7.
That's pretty good. If you don't think it's a
debris. You have debris. You have debris now.
Yeah, Groot. What?
No, I'm saying you have debris as well now.
Oh, we do. Looky there. That's a thing we can do. And then what's it called? Anti-Venom's also good. It's coming together. Oh, look.
Hold up. All right, no, he's cooking. All right, well, this is something we're gonna have to deal with later because otherwise we're gonna spend this whole time cooking up a Cerebro 7 thing. Anyway, card's not good, but I'm stoked at the change.
What about?
Yes, God, these back-to-back banger changes. I love it.
Okay, so I have a friend at High Infinite. His name is Butt. He's going to be very, very. It's sort of like, I think this is his Super Bowl win. Like I don't know, he's gonna like climb up a light pole or something and just shout it from the heavens.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I will. There may or may not, when creators got these notes, there may not have just been 19 different people approximately just doing @butt, just letting Butt know about this OT. Because again, maybe may or may not be whatever. Butt was legitimately asking like, all right, hey, when can we get these OTA notes? I want to play my 1-3 M'Baku. And we're all like, yeah, sure, that's happening.
It happened. The real thing is, I'm sad because this is going to make me lose to Arishem generated M'Baku just that little bit more, which I have lost in tournament to a random Fastos buffing a random M'Baku with the +2 power, losing me the game. So I'm excited for Butt. I'm a little scared. I don't want to lose to Arishem, man. I don't like it.
My favorite deck in the game right now is my comfort deck currently in Marvel Snap is an M'Baku deck, and so
I thought you were gonna say an Arishem deck, and I was about to like, leave this call. Or
if I play Arishem, I make M'Baku has to be in there because M'Baku is such a fun card to have in Arishem actually based. Just like if you play
someone who's played Arishem before.
I've played every deck in this game. So have you.
I stay 39.5-foot pole between me and Arishem. I played it on release and never again.
Oh, sorry. So you did play it?
Shut up.
I'm sorry. He just said I played Arishem. I just want that quote there.
Listen. We all make mistakes. I was young.
What's the quote from Jimmy Neutron? We all make mistakes in the heat of passion, Jimbo.
Yeah, I was forced to play Arishem last night with my channel point redeem, and it was just.
Just say no.
Who made the channel point redeem?
Your viewers.
Who made the channel point redeem? I don't know. Crazy.
But it was a mod who made who redeemed it, so I had to honor the mod.
So you do /unmod. You do /unmod. That's the
/unmod. No.
Why do you guys respect your viewers? This is fundamentally.
That comes with the implication that I respect anyone. I don't know what you're talking about.
There we go. Now we're talking.
I give everyone the equal level of disrespect.
The next card we have is Fanfei, which actually is very interesting. I would say this card's going to take some testing, of course. But Fanfei went from a 4/7 to a 4/4. With now the ability activate your other cards here, get +1 power, and then you move them right.
Yep. It's better for Human Torch and nothing else.
Yep.
It's technically one more power that it's due. No, it's not even the same amount of power actually, because it's 4/7 with what it was, and then it now puts 1 point of power in the other card. So it's technically the same amount of power, but it just moves it.
Yep. It's like, okay, my Shadow Kingable things are just that much better Shadow King targets, and my Human Torch is I mean, oh, looky there. You could go Human Torch on 3 into Fanfei on 4, and then I feel like there's just better
the
stuff
answer
to
is
do
you
with
just you get to play Human Torch on the final turn, and that's it. You just play only Human Torch, and then you've got like 3 different activates to use, and what is it? And then you're fine. You win.
Tribunal value, you know?
Yeah, on turn 7.
it. Sure, you get +1 power. I mean, this isn't
+1
going to make
power
or
if it's
break
early.
the card.
If it's early on, it does help. I don't know. I'm trying to
Oh,
go
it
through a
does.
little bit.
I don't think this makes the card playable. You know,
It's a good
Any more than
generated
it
card
was.
again.
In a move deck, I guess, but like
You
sometimes
get
I
this from an
off
Iron Patriot.
I just like from a 4/7.
This
or
is a
1/7.
card
Yeah.
I'd like to hit with Cersei, because at least now the benefit, like you can get rid of the card and turn it into a 5-cost that does
That's
something.
True. Are you really doing this in a Cersei deck though?
Depends on how much copium I'm huffing.
You can move your
Hey.
Cerebro and C4
Mm.
away from the Cosmic Ghost Rider or the Red Guardian. You know, you can.
Are you saying
Oh.
you bast your hand to get your Cerebro up to 3 and then you Fanfei it to 4? Is that the new Cerebro 4 list?
No, I was saying like you forgot about Cosmic Ghost Rider. You know it's coming down, so you play
forgot
this on the
about
fan.
Cosmic Ghost
You play this in the
Rider. That's how
Fanfei
you play.
lane, and you move your Cerebro away from the Cosmic Ghost Rider. They think they're gonna play on you. You know, you have Jocasta in there too, so you can do this more than one time. You know,
That's real. When's the activate move list coming out? That's my question, right? You put every single activate
Oh no!
card in the same.
Wait! No! You activate Fanfei to move your danger away, and then you activate danger after, so danger moves to the next lane, and then snipes
You
a
can't
card.
give this away on the main channel for free. You gotta make the deck list first. Gosh, if y'all want to see when he does this amazing
doing
deck
this.
list, that's definitely gonna be doing a meta breaker.
Nope.
Make sure you're also subscribed to Tuccrr's show. You're already here on the YouTube, so go and subscribe down below because he's an absolutely great individual. And you can go over to go over to his Twitch, his TikToks, his Twitters, I don't know where else. I think that's everything. TUCCRR on all the platforms because he's an awesome individual who deserves all the love and the support you have left after you've given it to Husky. So make sure you go over and drop the follow, subscriptions, likes, whatever you got to do on those platforms.
Goodness gracious! I'm not making. That was just a crazy idea. We're never, never,
You
never
said
doing
it.
that.
You said it with your words.
But
Your
what
words
about-
said
It's on the
thing.
internet. It's forever now.
It's true.
Yeah.
Now, Hydra Stomper getting a point of power. Not upset about this. I mean,
I didn't think this needed this. This is the only one I thought was like, this was the weirdest change in the entire OTA personally.
preemptively
I think
though.
this is one. I think this is one where they're not making buffs nerfs around high level. It's like Cougar was running this list and not many other people.
Mm-hmm.
And this gets a lot more people to try it out.
Yep.
And going into a move season, hey, looky there, new shiny thing. I get this. I don't think it was necessary, but this gets. I think how Second Dinner. This is my theory. They sell cards. One of their main ways to sell cards is like, hey, wait a minute, this card works with this other card, and now Hydra Stomper is sort of thought of as something. Hey, I can work this in with other cards that are coming out, and you get to buy both.
I don't even think that's not even a tinfoil hat thing. They actually, so in their notes, they say, what is it? The majority of the stronger move decks are just about scaling Human Torch with sometimes Tribunal. However, in an ideal world, they would have a strong secondary move archetype that is more about mass moving, perhaps leveraging some of the tools in the Spider-Punk season, and they think that Hydra Stomper is a fun, important piece of the puzzle that hasn't been quite enough to encourage folks to build decks outside of the Human Torch template. So I don't even think that's like a tinfoil hat thing. They're specifically saying they want there to be a different style of move deck where you're getting a payoff with Hydra Stomper. You can use that like Silk, Batroc stuff even more, so that you can do some crazy things, which maybe is pure copium, but I do think that's an interesting shout.
No, it's not. Cougar does very well with that list. It's not
Deck's
easy,
good.
but it's good.
Yeah, but it's also, again, there's the level of, I'm including myself here, even though I'm not actually. There's a level of higher infinite understanding and gameplay of that, where the general populace has no reason to do that, and that's maybe what they want to try to encourage it. Which again goes into the conversation of just them not ignoring, but not buffing around high infinite.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I've played the Tuccrr deck a lot, and I think it is very fun. And I think with, like you're talking about, some of these cards coming out, specifically not the card coming out this week, but the card coming out next week, as kind of a plug-in to that deck, will be very fun. And like that style of move, like both styles of move definitely take brain power to kind of like move around and stuff, but like having to also keep in mind, if my Silk moves here, here, or here, what can I play around? Where's my opponent also playing cards? Is this payout worth as much as me just bouncing my Human Torch to scale vertically? I think that's kind of like the whole gist of like, and I think that's what they're like reiterating pretty much there, is like that kind of thing, which we're about to talk about these new cards, which Husky, we didn't talk about this before, but we're also going to be ranking the new cards from worst to best at the very end after we go over all of that.
On the fly, let's go.
So,
All right. Hey, I don't plan them out either. I think you just say what your vibes are on it.
As I turn everything on at the same time, here we go. The very first card that we have this season is going to be Spider Punk, which is a 3-cost, 3-powered card with the ability you can move this once. When this moves to a location, steal 2 power from the highest powered enemy there.
Cool. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's trash.
I wouldn't say trash.
Trash.
I don't think it's good.
I think this is a solid enough card that isn't going to break the meta. I've heard some people, I know Cam Best was talking about, like, hey, this is kind of like new old Vulture. And it's like, okay, yeah, but I don't think this goes in pure move decks, because if you don't have a card at the enemy location, it kind of, the growth does not happen. It gets countered by Luke Cage. So, like, I think this is kind of a Scream-ish card in a neat way. I don't think it's going to be great, but I think this card's neat and is maybe fun. And maybe just, if I don't know what 3-drop to use, I'll just put this in a deck. Maybe I'll put it in a Wiccan deck. It's like, hey, plug and play. Who needs speed? Just play Spider-Punk.
My issue with that is just, I feel like the Rocket and Groot are still a better card in terms of like just throwing it into a Wiccan deck than Spider-Punk is, because you can just, they can get more than just 2 power stolen. And I feel like that's typically better, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
I think Rocket and Groot's a little bit more meta-dependent than potentially a Spider-Punk, because something like playing in the Horde season, if someone is repeatedly playing onto, Zombie Scarlet Witch, you're going to get more value from the Rocket and Groot interaction there, whereas like something like Spider-Punk, you can use potentially to offset some combos for opponents, dependently, especially it being a targeted steal is nice, and being a 2 and at one time opposed to people having to repeatedly play onto it is nice. And I also like that it's not limited to 1 turn. I think that's cool. I'm not saying this card is the freaking moon and it's the greatest thing ever, but I do definitely like the opportunity that you have with this, with it being a targeted steal into something like a move affliction deck, which is something I was already playing a little bit of last season with like some Ajax and stuff, which is pretty fun. And like using Hydra Stomper and stuff too, because you can move stuff around. But like this card, immediately brain goes to Zorn. I get to move this for free already, and then I can move it again. And I think we were talking about this in a Yap a while back too. I think one of the main reasons they made the change to Madam Web to work with like Sam Wilson better now is for something like this. So it doesn't take away that free move originally. So you can have options. Plus, we have, a Series 4 card coming out that also can give this another additional move. I feel like I love with the direction they're going right now. I think they talked about it a lot with the Hydra Stomper change of, we don't want move just to be completely one-dimensional, you're just doing big torch things. Now it's like, I can incorporate move cards into a variety of decks, like what you were already doing with Mercury, like people were doing with Jeff in the past. Like we're talking about old Rocket and Groot, people were running old Rocket and Groot in older Wiccan decks. Now having something like that fundamentally is pretty good. And this going to a 5/7 in a sense, because you're stealing power as well as gaining power. If you move this again and this goes kind of to, you know, or not 5-7, a 3-7. It goes to a 3-11 from just, you know, the transactional value of stealing the power. I think that makes this really solid in that area of I can do this with a 3-cost card. This is not Human Torch. This is not the freaking end-all be-all, but there are things I can do with this card which can be fun. It'll just be kind of more situational.
I think that's the realest thing.
Yeah.
The Hydra Stomper bit about this card. Because I actually hadn't noticed that until we were just now going over the Hydra Stomper change. That's, I think, the realest way this card exists, personally.
I could see that. Hellion is a phenomenal card.
Yes.
Very, very, very good. Yeah, I could definitely see that. It's I think this card will find a home. Whether it's, you know, generic 3-drop or big Hellion Hydra Stomper stuff, or both. But I don't think this card will break the meta, but it's going to be good.
Now, is this card, comparing this to some of the other season pass cards, of course, we are theory crafting now. We don't have hands-on experience with this card. If you're looking at this just pen and paper, do you consider this card more of an Esme tier kind of season pass card, or do you consider it maybe more so of not a Zombie Scarlet Witch, because I think Zombie Scarlet Witch you can kind of classify in some of the better cards, I think, of the year, hypothetically, not like in the, you know, Iron Patriot, Sam Wilson kind of esque. Can't put it in Agamotto tier, probably, because Agamotto's a little bit different style of play, innovative with the skills and everything. Do you put
I
this?
actually think you can.
You think you put it in Agamotto tier?
I would put it at around similar to the way that you would build with Agamotto, especially due to, right? Like, you have to use the skills for Agamotto and such. But especially with all these different types of, like, mass move payoffs and such, I actually feel like that's a better place to put Spider-Punk in, where maybe it's not great, but it will... I'm willing to walk back what I said earlier. I feel like there's a good chance it will find a home, maybe not a crazy one, but it will find a home, and it will work there. And Agamotto works in an Agamotto deck, and you're going to want these cards. And I think the biggest part about it would be the fact that it can move once, like, on its own, so that you can get these multiple movements off. And now that they've made it so that, like you mentioned earlier, like the cloaks, the Hellions, we'll talk about Web Sling, they won't count this. They won't count that as its move. It will register each and every one of those bits of movements on their own. And that can probably be really real.
I think I fundamentally disagree with calling this like Agamotto. Maybe in terms of power level, but...
That's... yeah.
I think the problem with Agamotto is there is no replacement for Agamotto.
Right.
There is no other card that is, you know... hey, I'm going to turn two of my other cards here into my big guy. It is a fundamentally different deck than anything else. So I'm going to say this card is probably better than Agamotto, but is more skippable than Agamotto. You could find a replacement and do most of the things that you would otherwise do. It's like, I think some decks will definitely be better with Spider-Punk. If you want to play those decks, I'd recommend getting Spider-Punk. But I don't think missing him is going to have a huge impact and sort of lock out an archetype.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think that's valid. That was a really good way of explaining it and everything, too.
Like Husky knows what he's talking about.
I play this game too much. I'm better at this point.
Now, the next card we have here is going to be the Man Spider, which is the Super Premium Season Pass card, as well as a Seasonal Series 5 pack card. If you do not buy the Super Premium Season Pass, this card will be in those packs, so just kind of keep that in mind. With a 5 cost in 1 power stat line on reveal, merge the last card you played into this, and I'm gonna emphasize period. That is end of statement. Merge the last card you played into this, and then the second statement is when this merges, double its power. So if you set this up onto, let's say you play an Agony on turn 1, you can do the process you're playing the game, leave the Agony there, do whatever you want. And then on turn 5, let's say, if you haven't ramped this out on turn 4 with like a Luna Snow, you get the on reveal to go off. It absorbs the last card you played, okay? And then you play your Man Spider on top of the Agony. You're playing on that lane. It'll then double again because it doubles every single time it emerges, which I feel like we fundamentally, like, we look at the first text and we're like, okay, well, we know this card's going to double. We see what Black Panther does. You know, we see what Shuri does. You know, like, stuff like that. Whereas there is a little room for some extra stuff you can do with this card. I'm also not saying this card is groundbreaking or anything super crazy, but there's some cool interactions I think you can do with this since both lines of text are separated. I think that's something that's pretty cool about this card.
This is similar to, right, like with Penny Parker and also like Strange Supreme, which technically also have that, like, when this merges, do additional thing, but then it also has the other separate part of it, which I do think, like, Strange Supreme has it separate where it makes it, he says, like, gains +2 power from merging and then has the end of turn thing, whereas with Penny and Man Spider, this is a random thing. Have it, like, kind of seeming like it's part of the on reveal. I do wish it would swap. I wish they would put that, like, on, what is it? Doubles its power when merging.
Yeah,
like
when this
text.
merges, double its power on reveal merges stuff.
Exactly. Like,
yeah.
I wish that.
I fell victim to one of the classic blunders, the bane of all card gamers, reading comprehension. And until about 20 minutes ago on this very podcast, I didn't realize this card worked like this. I'm ranked 13 right now, I think, and I can't read. That means if you can read,
you actually just dropped to 14. You just dropped to 14 because of that. That's the answer.
Illiteracy is, I had a whole debate with my chat. You know, it's like very underrated. It's one of the best times to be illiterate right now, but it's clearly not right now. This card gets a lot more interesting with, like, oh, I get to Agony, and then suddenly, you know, if I'm absorbing an Electro, this gets to, like, pretty easy 20 plus power, which is a lot more interesting than the stuff I thought I had to, like, double its on reveal. No, I just make it merge twice. That's a lot easier of a condition to fill.
Y'all were slamming me for throwing Spider in the deck. Come on.
I mean, listen,
Okay, well,
man, reading is hard. Okay, like,
but
you
no,
know
no,
how
no.
long it takes people to learn how to
He's talking about Penny Parker, Husky. He's talking about having Penny Parker
no,
in the
that
deck.
part's so bad.
No.
No. Husky, go back. Don't listen. Listen. Reading's one thing. Don't listen either. Take out the headphone. You're not listening.
Okay, my bad.
Can you believe that can you believe that inside of my superhero card game, they expect people to, like, read and count? Like, come on.
It's weird. I don't get it. I don't like it. I think they're fundamentally, like, pushing out a market of illiterates and encounter it. Innumerates? I don't know. Innumerates might be correct as people who can't count. And really, you should really capitalize on that market a little bit more. I think they're not a
All
great
I know is that my number inside of Marvel Snap's, like, ladder is bigger than both of yours. Therefore, I am winning.
Can we play golf? Like, that's what
All right, so we understand Man Spider better. Hopefully you guys understand Man Spider a little bit better as we move on to our next Series 5 card, which arguably is going to be one of the most competitive cards for best card of the month, hypothetically speaking, before we jump ahead. Like, this probably is going to be up there. We have the Series 5 card, the Superior Spider-Man, which is a 3-cost, 4-powered card with the ability at the start of each turn, you get +1 energy. If you have any cards with increased power in play, this, of course, is capped out at +1. This is not like for every card in play that you have with increased power, you get +1. So just keeping that in mind, and it is at the start of turn. So that is what we got going on.
I don't know why you're clarifying this so much. It's like, we can all read here.
Are you trying to say that any of us are illiterate, Tuck? Like, what's going on, man?
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to be as, comprehensive as possible, right?
I don't know why you do that. Let's see how you feel about this card.
This is a very, very interesting card to me. Energy cheat is fundamentally one of the best things you can do in any card game, because playing things for less than you should is very, very good. And this card looks like it has a very, very easy condition to meet, a lot easier than Electro, and it doesn't ramp your opponent like Luna Snow does, and Luna Snow already sees a lot of play. So I think this card is going to see a fair bit of play. It is not as plug and playable as Luna, maybe, but it's not a hard condition. You fulfill this with like one card, and there are a lot of cards that get green power. You just have like the Hungry, you have Silver Sable, you have Agony that merges into something, you have Hawkeye, and this card just becomes kind of nuts.
What's the best card you think to start off with for Superior Spider-Man?
Depends on if you're going into a zombies deck. Hunger is definitely it. If you're doing something of the like. Agony could definitely be good if you're going down combo route, something like Dokken style things. You do have to use it a little bit earlier than perhaps you would like to if you're doing that. I've been looking at Silver Sable. If you're doing like Silver Sable might be the cut card. Hawkeye and Medusa I'm genuinely considering though.
What about
those are
Adam Warlock?
No.
But he gains power. He gains power on the, and it's a green power.
Are you doing zombie Galacti things? Is
No.
that what you're trying to sell
No,
me on?
no. It would be Adam Warlock
Okay.
for a high Evo deck.
What?
It would be Adam Warlock just to potentially just get the extra just green power on the board. It's just to get green power on the board to get the Superior Spider-Man to start going off on
So
turn
you're
4.
playing him as a 2/1.
Yes. Instead of having to rely on my opponent to float any energy for like a Thaddeus Ross to draw cards, you know.
Just you're running Thaddeus too.
No. I said you're not running. I said instead of running a Thaddeus Ross, I'd do an Adam Warlock. And then I'd have Superior Spider-Man and I'd have regular Warlock. And then, you know, I mean, if you don't have the Adam Warlock, you have Sunspot, you have Misty Knight, you know. Husky hates Ivo, you know.
Dude, I love that Husky's mic is also just refusing to pick up him screaming. It's so much better. It's so. Bro, he's getting redder and redder. We have to move on. We have to stop with the Adam Warlock. He's actually, Tuck, I can't tell the difference between where your shirt ends and where his face begins. Honestly, it's a problem right now. We have to. Look, I will say, I think this card will be good, but I also think that everyone is really hyped on this card. I don't think it's going to be as amazing as people are thinking. I think it's going to be a good card, but I also don't believe in any way, shape, or form this is the best card of the season.
No, it's not the best card of the season.
We don't need to be the best.
No.
No, I think it will be fine. I just also, one of the biggest things that also kind of hurts me with this is, for one, I think one of the nice things that this will work with any locations that give extra power. Great thing with it. It has the same wording as Gilgamesh, so I would assume that if it is at a negative location or it somehow has any cards that have gone below, will make it so that it doesn't work, even if you do add power into it. Because Gilgamesh, fun fact, if it's like, I think it's like negative zone that gives -3 power, even if you've done a blue Marvel or whatever, doesn't gain power from those cards. Because they do not have increased power. They still technically have reduced power, just less than normal. Which sucks if you compare it to Ajax, because Ajax actually works no matter what, even if they do have increased power. So that's a different complaint entirely. I mean, I think the card's gonna be fine. I also just don't think it's that great.
You don't like extra energy?
But also, I mean, I just don't think the decks that you're gonna want to use this in, I don't think you're gonna need as much extra energy as people are typically thinking, right? Again, I'm willing to say I'm entirely wrong, because I'm often wrong.
Well, it's only one extra energy.
But
it's not like you're needing like 5 or 6 from this, you know? Like,
yeah, you're getting 3 extra energy for the game, and it requires that you've done something in the first 2 turns at least to do it. Or if you don't do it, then you get 2 extra turns with +1 max energy, or basically. I don't know. Okay. I'm just not super sold on it still.
It's just anytime you play Luna Snow, just like consider this card.
Yeah, I think we've got decks for these first 3 cards, because these are all the Series 5 and Season Pass cards. I think the best potential combos, I think, with Superior Spider-Man, I put all 4 of them in the same deck. it's just I feel like there's Surge, Kitty Pryde, Angela, and Zombie Scarlet Witch.
Why Kitty Pryde?
Because as soon as you have it out on the board again, you just get the +1 energy. It counts itself.
Well,
I
yeah,
think
but
Kitty
then you
Pryde
have to
goes back
play
to your
it.
hand before the start of turn happens.
It does it at the start of turn. It's the same thing. And then it will go in order
Yeah.
of the cards on the board. And so Kitty Pryde would be, as long as you've played it after, which you would have to because of the way Kitty Pryde works, you'd still get the +1 max energy.
So you wouldn't get
So
it
if-
for turn 4, you'd get it on turn 5.
You'd get it, yeah.
If you play Superior Spider-Man and Kitty Pryde in the same turn, order does matter.
Mm-hmm.
But if
Yes,
you get
that's the only time.
Superior down on 3, you're fine.
Okay.
I just think there's easier things to do. It's like, okay, yeah, I could keep playing Kitty Pryde over and over, or just like any of the
But
other
that's-
cards. Like
That's also why I
say-
talked about like
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch and Angela, because
Oh yeah, I think those are better ideas.
yeah. Anyway, I think there's a lot of fun stuff. Do we want to talk about the other cards, or we want to talk about decks? Because I know we have a lot of other stuff we're doing.
We can show the decks real quick. The first deck we are going to be talking about, of course.
Which card are we doing first?
The first card we are going to be doing is going to be the Season Pass card, which is going to be good old Spider-Punk. And we got Husky's Punk over here.
Yeah, this deck is cope. It's. I thought you guys would build some good decks with it, so I was like, what if I built a bad deck? And really leaned into the Affliction part.
Mm-hmm.
I'll run through the list real quick. Aranya, Ghost Spider, Madam Web, Dagger, Craven, Zorn, Spider-Punk, Human Torch, and here comes the fun part. Laufey, High Evolutionary, I know I was just trashing High Evo, Hellion, and Abomination. It's, you get to move around your Laufey and afflict one lane and have it in another, and then Abomination costs less, and then you lose because this is fundamentally doing worse things than straight move and maybe straight affliction, but it's a neat thing to do. You get Zorn value.
There you go. Using Zorn.
I think all of us have Zorn inside of our Spider-Punk decks, if I'm not mistaken. But I think that so there's something to be said about that bit. But also, I mean, this is fun. I like the idea of trying to throw these two decks together in a very interesting way. And Laufey and Dagger both technically kind of they want the same thing. And this deck really would love I guess for like 2 days you could maybe even throw debris in here, and then you have to take debris out.
Yeah, just really clog yourself and your opponent.
Eh.
And then we got your list dance. Not my punk.
Yeah, there you go. Not my punk. Nope. Listen, I'll cope on Red Wing stuff, right? If we're doing coping stuff, Husky said we would be submitting good decks.
Oh,
Nope.
Okay. I have gotten Red Wing to very high ranks. This is what I would consider. I thought about making a Red Wing deck and then didn't because I was hoping one of you guys would make it. So good.
I was actually
Where's the
talking
lucky
with Roram actually about this style of deck first, because I was really uncertain on Spider-Punk, and Roram had opened my eyes to the Red Wing ideas there. So I think this is a lot of fun. What is it? You got the Ghost Spider. You have Ghost Spider, and obviously Madam Web, Sparky, Zorn, as well as Heimdall as your kind of move enablers in there. And then in terms of getting out there some big cards, you also have Galactus First Steps and Infinite, which I talked about. This is kind of similar to that deck I talked about when Galactus First Steps first came out. And then you also have Human Torch is another good scaler. Obviously, Spider-Punk is in here. And then in terms of like cheating those big cards out, you've got Luna Snow, Blink, and Red Wing, of course, in order to just have the most potential fun time. Or we'll see how good this is, but I do think there's a lot of fun here.
Yeah, we got some. I like the options here. Of course, Sparky value too. So like Torch can just continue to go crazy, or you can get more value for your Spider-Punk too. Extra
Exactly.
Spider-Punk.
I'm gonna be throwing Fanface straight into this list. I'm so stoked.
Oh, I bet. I would kind of still a little bit more into like original move kind of stuff, but also into like stomper things here. I have Web Sling as another like kind of opposite kind of Madam Web kind of situation to be able to move a card away, potentially move it back into Madam Web as well. Having Cloak to be able to get moves for your Hydra Stomper or just moves in general for some of these just regular focal cards. Hellion as well, like Husky was using Hellion too, to be able to move a large variety of cards, and at the stat point itself at a 5/8 is just really solid. And then Heimdall to move stuff again, moving cards frequently to just get Stomper value as one of your scalers, probably more so with a Stomper scaler and a Torch scaler opposed to necessarily a Punk scaler. But Punk getting value across the board too, the stealing power can potentially add up, which is really nice either with the Zorn, Cloak, Madam Web, Spider-Punk, and just having just options there. It's kind of the thought process. Even though probably standard move with like the Cloak and Dagger stuff probably will be one of the main homes for like Web Sling and doing stuff like that. But Web Sling I was just using as another one of the new cards as an out here.
I think two notable places this deck can go is Scream and then like Batroc stuff. But other than that, I'm interested in this.
Yeah,
I think that's one that. Yeah, I think the Scream one is also I think the one I'm most kind of interested in seeing how that could go with Spider-Punk. I don't know if it would be good, but that's one that I'm really kind of interested in particular, just seeing like, hey, can you do a Scream deck with Spider-Punk? Just mess with the Affliction move combo. How good is that? Is it good? I don't know. Seems fun.
Yeah. The next decks we have, of course, are going to be our Man Spiders decks, which we have Husky's Manly Spider here, which is Red Wing.
See, my problem is I built this deck when I didn't know about the merge being a separate line. Oh, the woes of when I was a young lad, still unable to read.
Would it just be like throwing in like a what is it?
Agony.
Just an Agony probably over like a Grandmaster here, maybe?
Probably. Fundamentally just a lot easier to get that out. I had Wasp in here just as I Grandmaster the Man Spider, and Grandmaster would make the Man Spider hit the last card played before Grandmaster, so Wasp is just sort of food for that, as well as, you can dump it out of the before Red Wing. You can get, you can blink it in a pinch. You can Grandmaster the Black Panther, and looky there, that's pretty good. This is pretty neat. This list doesn't have any tech and has a fundamentally lower ceiling than some other stuff, so this concept would have to go in the right meta, but I think there's something here. There's probably some Red Wing stuff.
I like it. I definitely think this deck changes now that you fully know. I mean, you definitely knew how Man Spider worked before, but yeah, definitely. It was you caught the first strap. That's it, Tuck. You actually just didn't get the updated notes, but it's too late for that. Anyway, no, I like it. I do like the ideas here. It's fun.
Yeah, the Black Panther line makes a lot of sense. I think that's like when I was making some of the other decks, I felt like the Black Panther, like a Black Panther Zola line is interesting too. Black Panther or Zola Man Spider, because once Man Spider sets and the honor reveal goes off, you would have to have like a Wasp down, I think, for it to eat something, I think, prior to the Zola fully finishing the honor reveal, because I think both honor reveals set and you can't really eat the Zola. I think it would work that way, kind of like how Venom normally works and everything with Nimrod Zola things. So probably teching in a Wasp or something in there would make some sense. But we got Dance's list over here, which is a Werewolf Man Spider deck.
Yeah, I liked the Werewolf combo. This is another one, like I mentioned, I talked to Roram stuff about this type of stuff here, and I feel like the move has a lot of real potential in terms of being able to dodge people who are going to be running Shadow King or Shang-Chi or whatever. Like, you've got some other really interesting pieces in this, and I actually really like the Spider as a way to dodge those big cards. And if you play the Spider onto an on reveal, that will make Werewolf by Night trigger and jump again. Then you can move whatever that new powered card is out of Werewolf by Night's lane and let you free up some stuff. So again, I'm willing to say there's definitely copium here, but I've also threw in more tech cards in order to say that there's less technically. But I like it.
Yeah, I think this deck looks fundamentally probably one of the best, just because it has Juggernaut, Werewolf, and Merlin, and Red Guardian as cards. And those are very, very good cards. So yeah, I don't think this is optimal. I'm looking at that Penny Parker over there, and I'm like,
no. Just the Spider value is gonna be insane. Just you wait. This deck does get arguably worse now that Misery is going to a 4-8.
You mean the Man Spider value, right? Not Penny Parker's value, right?
No, I meant Penny Parker Spider.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's not.
Yeah, don't sweat. Anyway, Misery is technically going to a 4-8, so it makes it slightly worse. But Misery and Gladiator are also very solid Man Spider targets, and I liked the idea of being able to Ghost Spider as well. The Man Spider again, just to say no, you don't get to steal whatever you can't Shadow King this card. Again, I liked the idea of trying to dodge Shadow King, which was part of a lot of the stuff here.
Spider. This does look cool. I like this.
Yes, sold.
Yoink.
Exactly.
I went a little bit crazier, and I did just like an old kind of Sauron build, kind of just setting up your Man Spider to eat pretty much a Typhoid Mary, Cold Obsidian, or an Ares, and then you Taskmaster it. Like, that's kind of the general gist there. There's a world where you could also put Agony in here, since you're going to potentially just set up a Taskmaster. So you play your big card out on 4, and since Man Spider does not take the ongoing ability of the card itself, it just gets eaten by Man Spider. The thought process there was for, if you add, I think I would add Agony into this. Man Spider eats like a Typhoid Mary, and then merges again because of the Agony, and then you Taskmaster that. That's potentially a pretty big Taskmaster, and you're pretty much just not doing like Shuri things is kind of the thought process.
I'm gonna ask a question, and sorry, this is about my previous deck. If I merge Penny, because again, you can go Penny Spider into playing Man Spider. If I merge Penny into Man Spider, does Penny's merged ability trigger?
Penny shouldn't exist afterwards. It doesn't gain the text, so I don't think so.
Opposed to like Symbiote Spider-Man gains the text.
I don't know.
It doesn't with Man Spider.
It's dead by the time that happens. So
that's fair. If it did, I was gonna have even more of a copium.
It's like, does it merge into Venom? Does it give Venom the extra?
Venom says it destroys and it adds it, but then you could argue Clintar says it merges all the cards into a symbiote.
It doesn't.
Maybe it works the way I'm coping it does, and I'm gonna be really happy. But it probably won't.
Anyway. The one, where's no Scar in this deck?
No Scar in this deck. My Scar is my Man Spider, and I have Taskmaster Copium. But because like my idea, if we had Scar in this deck, I'm taking away a 10-drop on the board more than likely, anyways, with Man Spider. So we could have Scar as an alternate there. But what I like here, like with the Man Spider aspect too, once it absorbs a card, it gets the Surtur value. Which also I'm wondering, since Surtur gets value when you play a Chimichanga onto a card that has 10 or more power. I wonder if Man Spider merges with a card with 10 or more power, right? Or becomes a card with 10 or more power, at that proc Surtur, and then the Agony goes off. Is that a separate proc for Surtur?
Agony wouldn't make a proc on
because
Surtur.
It's not a new card per se with Agony.
You played Agony on one.
Okay.
If you played Hulkbuster for real copium, that would do it.
That's why, which is why the Chonga works and everything too. Okay.
I wonder if you want to toss Zabu in this for Agony.
It might be Zabu for Agony, since I'm already running Surge as well, potentially doing that. Or I just toss Taskmaster and I just don't run Taskmaster.
No. The copium's too strong. Can't do that.
But just conceptually, I was like, this could be something.
I do like the Surtur thing though, especially over the right. Like you might want Scar, but there's a great argument of that you lose the additional Scar value because you're using the Man Spider there. So, but I like the fact that Surtur does it. I will say, I do believe it's going to trigger the honor reveal if you get Man Spider over 10 power due to the way like Black Panther and stuff works. Yeah, exactly. I saw someone questioning that originally, and I was like, no, Black Panther works. Why wouldn't Man Spider? Simple enough.
And Hitmonkey works when I was doing Surtur Slam and stuff. Hitmonkey going over power would work.
Of course.
And then we got the superior Spider-Man decks. We got Husky playing some good old Wiccan things with Infinity Ultron.
Yeah.
Hey, you put Agony in there.
Yeah, I did. Looky there. Fundamental idea with this deck is with Domino makes your 1-drops more likely to happen on 1. If you get a 1-drop on 1, you don't really need anything else to set up Superior Spider-Man. You ramp into a Infinity Ultron, and then whoa, looky there, you win the game or something. I think I'm not sure if 4 or 3 1-drops is the way to go.
We were talking about this.
Yeah, it's like it's okay. Would you rather have an 80% chance of having a 1-drop, or would you add that extra 1-drop to give yourself a 90% chance? It goes to like 88. But it's numbers. I've ran them, but
again, what is it? We're illiterate, number.
I think enumerate. I think enumerate is a word.
But I like this deck as well. This does feel like there's a lot of other fun stuff in here. I also like the what is it? I think I like the shout that you have also.
I don't know my words. I'm illiterate. Enumerate is not what I thought.
If you play America Chavez, is Domino always the top card of your deck? Would that work?
No, that doesn't work. Domino is in a fundamentally random position until it is drawn from that random position. Funny enough, you could with Old America Chavez, if it was, let's say you've drawn 5 cards, it wouldn't, if America Chavez was any of your top 5 cards, it would stay on the top of the deck and you just draw from -1. So you could Jubilee out America Chavez a lot more often. Which is kind of neat. But no, America Chavez would not work. I considered that. That's a very good idea. Unfortunately not. Assuming I'm not crazy.
Well, that's besides the point, but I don't think it has anything to do with this current question. Y'all realize, by the way, America Chavez got changed. We're basically a month from today. It's gonna be 2 years since America Chavez was changed from Old Chavez.
Really?
I still can't find the word for not being able to count. Was it illiteracy for counting?
Yeah.
But no, I like this and getting some Infinity Ultron value. Speed as another card has power already gained.
Innumeracy. But it's spelled not the way I thought. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. Sound Fan doesn't have Mercury as a 3 cost. Huh.
Yeah, it didn't have Electro's new stat too.
Rorm and I both made some Wiccan decks with Domino, but no Quicksilver. Mercury Cannonball is just a very good thing to do. Shadow King as well.
Really?
Who would have thunk? That thing that was good is still good.
No way. It's almost like Second Dinners knows what they're doing when they nerf a card, and they don't just nerf it into oblivion. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I like to for her to think about it is I know what I'm doing when I'm building a deck. They don't know what they're doing when they're nerfing a card. But I am the best, or something like that.
Unagi.
Goodness gracious. Okay. But no, this deck looks very fun, and I definitely see like the combos and the lines there. Now, we also got Dance's Superior Dance is the way we got it here because Dance said superior instead of superior.
Yep, and that's the name for it. Anyway, right? Like I think I didn't mention Hunger. Hunger is again just another great enabler for Superior Spider-Man. Hunger, Kitty Pryde's Copium, Surge. You've got again Zombie Mr. Fantastic, Angela, as well as Zombie Scarlet Witch. That's 4-5-ish enablers for the Superior Spider-Man that you were already running inside of this deck.
Oh, Kitty Pryde is very good in this deck. Don't get me wrong there.
Yeah,
Kitty Pryde.
I'm just saying, in terms of being an enabler for Superior Spider-Man. What I meant to say.
Oh yeah, but no, this deck looks fundamentally pretty solid. I've never been a fan of Zombie Mr. Fantastic, but
I do think it's one of the weaker.
Yeah, it's Zombie Sentry. I think takes first place in terms of
But then I think Kate Bishop's arrows win because you get the grapple and the acid arrow just in terms of value with Scarlet Witch. Yeah.
Yeah, this makes sense. Like a standard kind of zombie deck with some superiorness to it.
Which I think is still going to be good, by the way, even as we leave this season, right? It's just probably, we'll see less of it, but should still be fine.
Yeah. No, I think that'll be good. And then we have the ultimate cope train over here as we have Superior Evo. We are running old school Copium Evo for Husky's liking. I was like, what can I run here that might make Husky feel some things here? And we're running Nebula. We're running Adam Warlock. We're running regular Warlock. And we're running Superior Spider-Man.
So, Tuck, can you check your calendar? It's 2025.
I know. You know what this should be, though? This should be a pixie list.
Yes, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, now you're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Now you're
That
getting
doesn't seem
somewhere.
playable. That seems
Yeah.
so much more playable.
I mean,
Toss Jennifer Kale.
I've played
tossing Kale.
I've played a lot of
Actually, no, it's tossing Adam Warlock.
Pixie High Evo, like when Pixie first came out. I haven't played it a lot, probably in the last like 6 or 7 months, but there's a world where
Sorry,
it
what?
could work.
How many months?
But
I know you don't like cursing on this channel.
yeah.
I almost.
Never mind. I didn't even say it. I just asked for us just to.
Care.
But yeah, you make this a Pixie list, and I think you still do the Sunspot Misty things, but like you have a Wasp in here. Maybe you just take out the Warlock also for like a Mobius.
Have you seen Pixie Chef's Warlock list? It has a Shuri She-Hulk package plus Infinite.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Similar-ish to this. I think you sort of hybridize that with that. Maybe take out the high evolutionary stuff because I don't think that's very good.
Yeah.
But and maybe that what's that 2/1 in there that you're playing for green power. That's it's Adam Warlock. Yeah. No. Take him out.
I think legitimately instead of Adam, I like the Surge stuff because Surge just immediately works as soon as you play the Surged card. That's +1 power and it counts for
Your turn
Superior
2
Spider-Man.
is just weird because it's like, do you prioritize your Pixie or do you prioritize your Surge there? And I think it depends also. If you're running the Mobius version, you probably do Pixie into Mobius to kind of set that up.
I don't think this is a Surge deck just because Surge has like 3 6-drops that you generally want to hold in this sort of thing. It depends on how cope you want to get with like a.
Well, he already is running Adam Warlock legitimately, so I don't know how
true.
cope.
That's a
was.
good point.
It was my sleeper card for Superior Spider-Man.
I did watch the buyer bust. I did watch the buyer bust.
I
heard.
But I do think like fundamentally like the Horde deck is definitely gonna be one of the main ones for it. And then like what Husky was saying with some of these like lower range kind of like 1-cost cards like that, the Hawkeye and stuff like.
Mm-hmm.
Fundamentally, you only need 1 card on the board to gain green power, and then you're good. You don't need a whole deck of green.
You don't even need you could sometimes be lucky. You don't need the card to gain power immediately. You could just put it at a location that has bonus power on it. You're also fine there.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like it could be like a Joaquin kind of deck too, like something like that, like with that.
You have Hunger as well with it.
Yeah, like there's gonna be options. Like I feel like this card is gonna be a fairly flexible card. Like I mean, ramp cards in general.
Yes.
Like there's a large variety of ramp cards that are flexible. Some of them are more niche, more narrow. I think this kind of wavers a line more towards the. There's gonna be a bunch of decks. It's gonna have homes. It's not just gonna be one deck. This is the only time. Like this is good kind of thing. Which is what you want. Fundamentally, in a kind of card like this, not for the ramp to be okay. I can only use this kind of here, kind of thing.
Yeah. Listen, there's a lot of fun stuff to build, and these are, for what it's worth, we've only hit 3 of the new cards, and there are like there are technically one of the cards generates more. I think we still have, I want to say, 8 more to go through.
Yeah, we have a lot more to go through as we jump back on over to.
Oh yeah, because there's at least 1 more card releasing today.
Yeah, we have Websling. Yeah, the Series 4 1-cost skill. On reveal, next turn, you can move 1 of your cards away from here. Husky, I'm going to ask you a very difficult question here, okay? What card gets dropped for Websling? Or do no cards get dropped in kind of that standard tier 0 move deck?
Okay, that's an interesting question. Fundamentally worse than Ghost Spider, probably worse than Aranya. That is hard to say. That list is a very, very tight list at the moment.
Mm-hmm. So you think more testing will be needed instead of just boom in the moment you can drop this kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, like the current 2/0 move deck in my mind runs Cosmo and Juggernaut.
Yes.
And I guess you could. I really don't want to take out either of those just because those are. Hey, if I don't have my nut roll, I just scam it out. So I get Iran is so nice as a set and forget it. This is fundamentally a more flexible card than Ghost Spider, but it's also slower.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that list is running Iron. I don't know.
Is it starting Sparky?
I think
Over Sparky?
No, is it still
No, it's-
running Sparky?
Yes.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
card is nuts.
Okay.
That card is bonkers. Sparky like gets your Human Torch from like, oh, that's a big card to, oh, that's a big card. You're not cutting Sparky. Sparky is one of those ones where it's like, you gotta change either Human Torch or Sparky. It's that dog is very strong.
And this is a good setup card with Sparky too, being able to kind of set your torch into a different spot, move it back potentially to a Madam Web lane, or move it to other stuff, which is kind of
I like the idea of moving, of playing Human Torch and this on the same lane to a Madam Web lane and moving both of them away. Because again, they've worked on that priority to do stuff.
Yeah.
I think the slot this card takes, I don't think it goes into that normal move deck. Maybe it takes the slot of like a Cloak is what I'm looking in terms of like top infinite stuff right now. The best spot I see this card taking is this replaces Vulture in move bounce. I don't even. That's
Vulture,
it. Like I don't.
Vulture's kind of bad there. So I could see that. You get a little bit of a problem with then you only have a certain amount of cards that actually benefit from being moved. Cloak is probably a very good shout with the pure move deck. The only problem with that is then it makes your Craven line a little bit weaker. Maybe you're okay.
You're still
with
running
that.
Hellion though.
Yeah, but it's like I'd rather have two Hellions. And Cloak is sort of a Hellion that, oh no, my opponent can use, but I'm using that better, and if they move their stuff over and I have Craven, they're giving me like 12 power.
Fair. I think this card's. I love the idea of this card.
Yeah, not
Don't
taking
know
up
if it's
a
gonna be
board,
good.
not taking up a board space, I think, is one of the biggest parts about this, especially in those move decks where board space is so important in general. So I'm very interested to see, is this going to be a testing week? Like, setting up for Golden Gauntlet, are we going to see web sling Golden Gauntlet? Are people just going to say, well, I didn't do enough testing, I'm going to just keep running what I've been running? Like, I think that's what's going to be very just interesting to see. Web sling and Fanfare, are they going to make the cut into some of these Golden Gauntlet decks? But
I mean, this is also, if we think about it, this is old Space Stone.
Yeah. The problem fundamentally with this card is Space Stone you just get for running Thanos, which was very, very good at the time. This card is telegraphed. You have to play this not on 6, and since the cubes double on 6, this card loses value just because of how the game Marvel Snap works. I think this is still a very strong effect. Probably going to work at like some werewolf stuff. I don't exactly know. One cost skills, not taking up board space. So with like zombie Scarlet Witches, yeah, that's a great thing to do. But being unable to surprise someone, it's like I can't put this and like move my Infinite same turn. I have to set my Infinite down and then this guy and then move it later. It seems very strong but slow and telegraphed.
what about
So what we do
Sentry?
is we play. Oh, Sentry's fun.
So you use this on the Void lane in that Werewolf, like a Nihilist kind of deck, and then you can move your Void around wherever you want. Kind of like how Butt was doing, like with the Madam Web.
Yeah,
Sentry
I've seen that done with Madam Web.
Yeah, I think I was actually talking with someone else about trying to do this inside of a Horde deck where you can try to move the Horde around as well with this.
I like that a lot. Potentially try to dodge some tech cards for it, and moving it, but it's moving it, but your opponent knowing it's going to be moved is still better than not being able to move it at all. Like the Horde is a phenomenal idea. Yeah, there's been some success with Madam Web Sentry stuff. It's a little tricky just because that you have to play down the web swing after you do the Sentry, which is then you can't really curve into a Nihilus. but it moves the werewolf. So I don't know.
So
I'm
does
interested.
this doesn't work on, like, if the card is not revealed yet or not on the other side of the board, like on that side, like let's say you do web sling before you play out Sentry, you're not able, you don't think, to move the void away?
No, you should be able
Oh,
to.
I think you
Okay.
can.
Okay,
But it's like Sentry costs 4.
right.
Next,
You'd
it
have
basically
to do
turns
this on 5.
Gotcha. I see.
whatever
Yeah.
lane you play web sling into Madam Web next turn, and that's it.
Gotcha. That's how I read it, and I thought like it was going to happen. I thought I was potentially reading it wrong, but I see what you're saying. Take that turn 5 instead of making your turn 5 Annihilus. Your turn 5 is more set up for a turn 6 Annihilus kind of potential situation. Yeah.
Got it.
Turn 6 Annihilus is a hard ask.
Yeah.
We're talking about like dodging all the power, all right? What card is going to generate power with this? Y'all play this on Nicholas Scratch Lane. Done. Dusted. You're welcome. Meta Breaker. Next card. What we got next, Tuck?
The next card we have is Ezekiel Sims, which is the next Series 5 card next week, with the ability, after you play a card here with higher power, give this 2 power. And move this to another location. So, opposed to like the werewolf situation, werewolf only gains power if it is able to move. Ezekiel Sims will gain power even if it cannot move.
Yeah, we talked about this, which is, I don't know if it's actually confirmed, but it makes sense to us due to the fact that werewolf says move and then move to gain 2, whereas Ezekiel Sims just says give this 2 power and then move it. So you love your opponent to. This is a move card that I think you would kind of love it if your opponent played like a Mercury against you a little bit, but also it's good that this does move because it's also a cool synergistic piece.
Yeah, it's just it looks a little tricky to me. It's like this card seems around the power level of a second Silk, and I don't know if it really pushes much further than that. Just because, like, you can get this up higher than Silk, but fundamentally this moves less than Silk because it only moves when you do it, and it only moves when it sees a higher power card, played. And that's not terribly hard ask for some decks, but you have to make some plays that, hey, maybe I wouldn't have played that card there. You have to make some concessions to get Ezekiel some extra power, and I think this card will be good, but not insane.
This card really likes the buff to. This feels like what they're talking about when they talk about Hydra Stomper like combo pieces for like that mass move thing, where you can do something where you get to play Hydra Stomper onto this guy on like one of the final turns of the game, and you get the extra power with that bit as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you go Silk, maybe you go Stomper, but you could just go Silk into Miles. Like it's definitely gonna be like when you play out certain things, which really has an impact here. I think this card might get better when we get something like Prowler, where this becomes, instead of necessarily a huge scaler for the deck, more as an enabler kind of situation. Probably is where this kind of finds the sweet spot. Maybe you get it to a 6 power and then you kind of leave it, or maybe you do lean into it, but I think you still run Silk in your Stomper decks. I don't think you cut Silk for this.
God, no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You want it.
Card is moving
Literally,
two
they
or
want
three
mass
times.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it'll be.
I think it's
interesting.
cool.
Yeah.
This is another where it's like, I think there's a lot of these cards seem really cool. Whether or not they're good is a different conversation. But a lot of these cards are really cool designs that I love that they're exploring.
Yeah. Fundamentally, this card looks like a worse Batroc to me.
Yeah.
It can't get Killmongered as I punch your microphone, and that's, I think, a big deal.
I mean, yeah, that's nice, but most decks don't run Killmonger, and that it is very nice to not die to Killmonger, but I think that's that I don't think that's like making the card better.
But it's not limited to once per turn, like Batroc, Husky. You gotta.
Because you're playing
play
so many
around
of those
that.
big cards.
Yeah, and then I play my cards mid and right, and then it moves to the left.
Yeah, no.
That's the biggest part that like hurts with like cards like Ezekiel Sims and honestly like Silk as well, where it's just like I have to deal with wherever the card's going to end up, and so often it just doesn't end up in a spot that I'm happy with.
Yeah, the pros and cons of playing these type of cards. Whereas the next card we have is going to be good old Chameleon, a Series 4, 3-cost, 3-powered card. On reveal, copy the text of another card here you revealed this turn. What are our thoughts on this card, Husky?
This is a degenerate card. You are playing this in either a combo deck that is doing nothing fair, something along the lines of like Living Tribunal with like Sarah Onslaught, or something like that, or you are playing this in Cerebro 3. Because, you know, this is second Mystique that maybe has a little bit of niche applications you can do some other stuff with. I don't like this card on a... I don't really want either of those archetypes getting pushed type of level. So, like, this card might be good. I just don't think it's going to be good for the game.
I don't even think this card's going to be good. I don't know. Tuck and I, we saw this when it was first data mined, and I wasn't interested then. I'm still honestly not interested now.
You can do Invisible Woman stuff, and it's like it's a combo card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is a big BS combo. Post my screenshot to Reddit, and they'll get 3 upvotes kind of card.
Yeah, and it's
Cool.
like it kind of reminds me of Prodigy, but not, because you can set Prodigy up for later turns, whereas this has to be the same exact turn. Like board positioning, it has to be the same lane. It doesn't have to be behind the card like for Prodigy, but it definitely, like Husky said, it is heavily into the combo style of play, and that being its ability whatsoever. Like you have to, you know, mitigate your board space and set up maybe giving certain things until like final turns to be able to really do the combo you want to do, which kind of can throw off your tempo a lot, which is very important, especially right now. Tempo is very important into like Snap, like where the meta is right now. So it'll be just interesting. Maybe you double Shang-Chi. You finally get to do your old Shang-Chi again, because you had Surge.
Why would you say these words? Why would you say these words? Don't say those words. Those are inside thoughts. Those are not outside thoughts, Tuck. You don't say more Shang-Chi. We don't want more Shang-Chi. Why?
I mean, it would literally be just like a win more lane, but like that's just the hypothetical situation.
What if the lane is the Nexus? We didn't think about how that one down.
Yeah, that's
Yay! Cool.
Yeah,
That's so awesome, man. I'm so excited and so happy. I love it.
What about this card? This card right here. If I know anything, after watching Husky going through Zombie Galacti this past week, this next card, the Series 5 Spider-Man Noir, 4-cost 6-power card, on reveal, if your other cards in play cost exactly 8 total, add the top card of your deck here and set its power to 8. I do believe this little icon on the bottom right of it, if you're watching this, it says 0 out of 8, gives you a live tracker of what your costs actually are on the board. But this is another card you have to like build around for like this kind of situation, or maybe not build, like you're building a deck around specific cost into specific tempos in order to really utilize this.
This card is going to be probably the most theory crafted one of the season, just because it's along the Zombie Galacti line of, hey, if you fulfill this very specific condition, you get a very good effect. Zombie Galacti, or Galacti, I don't know, is trash. But this card might be, I think this card is probably playable.
Yeah.
You got some interesting stuff you could do with, like, Mr. Sinister. It summons 2 tokens, a token 2-drop, rather. So you can go, like, 1-drop into Sinister, into 3-drop, and then you're just good. You know, that's like, hey, that's a curve that actually works with him being on 4. So you got some interesting stuff you can do. It's just a question of, can you make this deck consistent enough and actually worth the payoff to build it around? And the answer is, I don't know. I'm curious. I'm going to have fun with this card. because this is fundamentally a lot of more of a healthy card for the game than Zombie Galacta is. I think that is a terrible card if that ever becomes meta. But I'm looky there. I get to cope my thing. I get to say, oh, I'll find the holy grail of Spider-Man Noir, and win the game with my 8-power Sinister that it pulls out of my.
Is it a Patriot card?
Why would it be a Patriot card?
Because you could generate. Because I think two of the best cards, honestly, with Spider-Man Noir, if I'm guessing, would be Mr. Sinister and Debris.
Or even like
Because
Squirrel Girl into some other.
Well, so
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Right, because
That could work.
Mr. Sinister could go. What was it? The worst thing is actually new Debris, right? It's going to be
Yeah.
7 power, so technically is only like a +1 there that you've gotten with. Actually, no, but then you just have to hope you don't draw it. But legitimately, I think Mr. Sinister is a. Hopefully, it actually. Do we know how it works in terms of order? Because will it set its power to 8 before it does the on reveal or after?
It should before. I'm almost certain that it.
But it
will
does it.
before.
I hope it does. I'm gonna check this video while y'all talk about this because now I'm wondering.
It's gotta set it to 8 beforehand.
I really hope it does.
It almost certainly does.
If it doesn't,
I
then
think
this
it's like
card.
Shuri type
Yes.
thing
If it
where
doesn't, then the
double
card's
support.
the worst. I think actually. I'm actually I'm stoked about this card. If it doesn't set it before reveal, I'm so low on it.
This card is going to lead to some feel bad moments where
Yeah.
it's like your opponent sends you a green goblin, or like you
Mhm.
set up your perfect thing, and then like a Savage Land flips up, and you're just like, oh, I can't count to 8 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Then it's just like a 4/6, or like you're just there. Like it doesn't
Hey,
feel like the old Iron.
It's
Like
a dead card.
yeah, it's dead card in hand. Like it gives me similar. Like I'm thinking Patriot. I'm thinking like old Iron Lad. Not
Mhm.
old Iron Lad, but like people running Iron Lad in Patriot. Of course, this is different because you have to hit a quota to be able to get the value out of it. But getting a draw out of your deck, like I'm thinking,
Yeah,
it could be
draw's
cool.
good.
Yeah, like
Draw
So-
is very good.
Looking at the video, you don't see it like resolve for a second at a different power. You see it immediately show up at 8 power. So if it is that way, I'm willing to say sure.
Yeah, you can do some interesting things. And I think one of the great things about this card is if it doesn't go off, you're still playing hopefully a good deck.
mm-hmm.
Like there's Zombie Galacta, if it doesn't go off, you are playing you're not playing a deck. You're not doing a thing. Maybe there's like one deck out there that I can think of that has a backup line. Wiccan suffers from not being online, but this card might be okay if, hey, I didn't draw the card. Hey, maybe I didn't get to 8, and I can still win some games.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this card looks good, looks fun, looks healthy. I like this card a lot.
Yeah.
I think healthy is a great word for it. The biggest thing I think it's going to hurt this card, and it's why it's probably will be even more copium, is locations are atrocious because you get so many of them. If they reveal on turn 3, you could have played enough power, then you get a Monster Island and you're screwed now. Or you have to play something else early that would maybe you get a bunch of squirrels on the board, and now all of a sudden you have 3 power. You have to make sure you accommodate for that, or 3 costs on the board. Because all those do have the cost, and you have to play around each one of those bits, and that's going to be a real ask. Whether or not it's a difficult ask is a different conversation, but it is a real ask each and every time you look at those things.
I think I might one up your biggest problem with this card and say this card's minigame of getting 8 energy is fundamentally worse than combo decks.
Mm-hmm.
You are doing sub-bar things for a potential outcome when you could just be moving the Human Torch around. And it's like, if I am building towards getting exactly 8 energy, I am building that much less to beat the best decks in the game, like Move
Mm-hmm.
or Mr. Negative. And it's going to be a little bit. It's just going to be worse into combo things that need specific answers, because you need to fulfill your specific requirement of having 8 energy.
And you don't know
And
what
that's-
card's getting pulled. Like, that's the other thing, too, on top of that.
That's the thing. You have to build a deck that wants to get an 8-powered card, but then you also have to build a deck that can put an 8 cost of cards on the board.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of hoops you're jumping through. And I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather just discard whatever card I wanted to do and then play Khonshu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll play Khonshu's minigame and be happy with that.
And but at the same time, I also don't think in every situation you have to get this out on 4. I think like that's something that's cool. Like that's why
Yeah, that's true.
I'm thinking like a small ball kind of like bass spice wreck, as you would call it, kind of situation,
Yeah.
or even like a Mockingbird Sasquatch deck could potentially have some.
Yeah,
lines
Mysterio
for this.
counts as another great card.
Mysterio, Sam Wilson, and then you play Spider-Man Noir. Like you have a bunch of like options there, which is going to be cool. Like I think this definitely is a good idea. Like building decks. Like so many people are going to have a variety of different
This
ways.
card is awesome for deck building.
Yes.
Yes.
Again,
Very
we're talking about, I guess, especially in comparison, right? That we're talking about Zombie Galacti.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to enable a lot of really cool stuff.
Yes.
Whether or not it's a good card, different conversation, but it has a lot of, it's an interesting puzzle that is a fun thing to tackle. Whether or not it's a puzzle that's worth doing is a different question, but it's a fun puzzle nonetheless.
Yeah. I totally agree. As we move to our next card, we do have the Series 4 Deafening Chord, which is an on reveal, afflict an enemy character here that costs 3 or less with -1 power and remove its text.
And this is just, by the way, so data mines have this as it's getting released via an event. This is not going out via an event. This is just going out into snap packs on, or seasonal Series 4 snap packs on November 20th. This is a cool card. Whether or not is
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what if you just had Red Guardian that only worked on some cards, but then also didn't
Cost
hold a
1?
spot in your board?
Yeah,
Yeah.
cost one.
Like
It's like, yeah.
that
A
list
lot
that I
of-
was showing
yeah.
earlier that was like Werewolf by Night and Red Guardian. This probably goes in there. Sorry, I had to cut you off. How's that?
Definitely. Oh, no, you are. Go off. That is absolutely right. Yeah, this card synergizes with everything that skills normally synergize with. Zombie, Scarlet Witch, Werewolf type of things, and hits a lot of good early game cards.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to really mess up things like discard. You're hitting a Morbius. You're hitting the zombie Colonel America. You're hitting Werewolf by Night, which is, different deck. You're hitting Mobius. You're hitting Jocasta. You're hitting Invisible Woman First Steps. You're hitting a lot of good cards that are played for their effects. And yeah, okay, if there are 2, cards that cost 3 or less, that is a problem. But, a 1-drop for a 50-50 to sort of just win the game and not... that's good. This card looks very good.
Yeah, and I think one of the main concepts, like in comparison it to like a Red Guardian 2, Red Guardian targets the power of cards. So if you do have those 2 different, 3 or less cards in lane, it's not, okay, I'm always going to hit the card that has less power. I can actually play this out for that 50-50 because I actually have a better likelihood now. Instead of a 0% chance of hitting this combo card now, it's now a 50% chance. So I'll roll those odds more than a 0% chance. Like this is totally going to be strong. And yeah, it doesn't take up the board space. So really solid there.
It's also, this is the first, at least base tech skill that we've gotten released in the game. You could argue Winds of Watum is connected to Agamotto. It's not on its own, similar to the second of Dormammu's skills, which is kind of a tech card. You can argue there's
Astral projection.
It hurts
Yeah.
stock and stuff.
yeah, there's technically some of that stuff, but this is the actual. It's super interesting to me that this is basically just a tech card that you just run base. You don't need to do some combo. I don't need to give Clea +1 power in order to give an enemy card -3. It just exists.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it looks very good, and also this shuts down most all of Move's early game stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like Madam Web, Human Torch, Dagger, Craven, just anything that does not say on reveal, do my thing, it's going to mess up. And I am very excited about that.
And it shuts down the counter of Mercury, which is real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another bullseye count. Like, this is another situation, like, because it being targeted to, like, a lot of these cards, which gave Cosmic Ghost Rider that extra value because it was able to hit 2 cards in the front row, are those 3 or less cards. More often than not. Of course, there's going to be situations where, like, well, I'd rather have Cosmic Ghost Rider because then I can actually hit Sarah, or I can actually hit Iron Man. But, like, other than that, like, there's a lot of good value. This is, like Husky said, it's going to be a good card. I think definitely one of the strongest of the season.
Buy this card.
Buy that, not this card. Maybe this card.
Nah.
But buy this card. Then this card is...
But I love Hydro Man, bro. Hydro Man, which, I love this. I'm pretty sure this is meant to be a reference to just Sandman, same exact stat line, I believe.
Yes, they're both
But
5/8s.
Hydro Man, if you don't know, 5/8 on reveal, set the cost of each deck's top card to 1. Mobius just says you don't get the benefit of this card if you play this on your opponent and you have Mobius, or you've already played Sarah because you did turn 3 Luna, turn 4 Sarah, turn 5 you play Hydro Man into Cable, and you benefit. You're welcome.
That's actually pretty sick. That is okay, listen, there have been a lot of, like, hope ideas. That is genuinely sick. That is a cool combo that I like.
Won't work, but I love it. It won't be good, but I
care. That's cool.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I can. That is actually really sick. That's really
Just
cool.
what if you just steal their benefit? I want it.
Or, like,
No,
you got...
yeah, it's like
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
Well, you also could, if you have
I'm
Sarah
not that bad
on,
at this game.
If you have Sarah on 5, or Sarah on 4, on 5 you could then go Hydro Man and Baron Zemo as well, instead of Cable, and then you don't have to also play out the card.
The only
Technically.
problem is
Yeah.
you can do that. The only
You don't know
problem
if you
with
get
that
it.
Yeah, if they have other 1-drops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or guess what? They're actually running Wasp. So screw you.
Yeah, 0% odds.
I got him.
But no, that's.
You play this against Mr. Negative after they've already done it, just to make the it doesn't work with it anymore. Yeah, that's the answer.
No Jane for you. That's
Exactly.
This card is, I think, the second most interesting deck building puzzle that you have in this season. Second only to Spider-Man Noir, just because, this one's deck building puzzle is a little bit more implicit than the, fill up the 8 cards, get a reward type of thing. It's kind of an odds game. Depends on what other things are in the meta. And this is a very, very interesting thing. I'd gladly play this in a Blink deck.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Or Darkhawk even.
probably. No. If you blink it out, it goes off after and then the shop. No, this doesn't work with Blink. That's sad.
You could Darkhawk it, though.
Wait, wouldn't it? If you blink, what do you mean if you blink it out? It would still work, right?
It doesn't work with Anti-Venom. If you blink into an Anti-Venom, the deck gets shuffled. Just
After
because of how
Anti-Venom?
the order of operations works in Snaps, just with, any card that summons a card, the summoned card has to fully resolve before the card that summoned it does. Blink at the end of it shuffles the deck, and this card would set it to 1 and then finish resolving, then Blink would finish resolving, and then shuffle the deck. Which is very unfortunate and ruins my hopes and dreams, but you can still make this do interesting things.
I understand how it works. However, I've decided Marvel Snap Second Dinner is wrong, and they need to fix it.
Yeah, true.
Well, Dance, instead, you do Hydro Man, and then you play Korg. And you say, well, now, are you going to get that?
That's real. That's extremely real.
Are you going to get that
Yeah,
card that
that's
costs
real.
1 or not?
That's so real.
Oh, that is a very
No,
yeah.
you
it's
play
like
Hydro-
copycat things.
Yep.
Like,
You play
had all
Hydro
stuff
Man
all
into
the
Baron Mordo. That's it. You didn't say you thought you were getting a benefit out of this. No, it costs 6 now.
unless it's turn 6. But it's,
Yeah.
I think the cable one's a little bit better.
Oh, it's
maybe
definitely
maybe we stick to the cable.
Yes, the cable one is
fair.
definitely better and cooler. Getting some actual
There you
cable
go.
You
value.
can do Black Widow and stop them from drawing.
That's
kinda
That's
fun.
fun. Actually, that's the other. Yeah, that's it. No, that's actually the better answer than cable.
Yeah, it's Snap and all card games are all about taking symmetrical effects and letting your opponent have fun and ripping the joy out of their hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's not winning. I don't care about winning the game. I care about my opponent losing the game.
Not even losing, just hating the game and having
Yeah.
a bad time.
If my opponent's phone screen isn't cracked by the end of our game, I've done something wrong. That's Tuccrr over there with his Shang-Chi chameleon combos.
That's true. That was toxic. But the last card we have this season is
that's not. This isn't the last card.
It's not the last card.
Because we got 3 other cards to talk about after this one.
The 3 other cards are attached to this card.
Yeah, so it's not the last card.
Well, they're tokens. I don't know. Semantics.
The
All
last
right.
Series 5 card we have releasing this season is the Prowler, which is an on reveal. Add 2 Thieves' Tools to your hand. Set their cost to 0 if a card moved last turn.
Can I say I love the thematics of this card of both Miles and the Prowler, his uncle, caring about a card moving last turn. Just a simple thing there. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. It is a thematic win. I like it a lot. It's always cool when they can do little things like that. Just internal synergies. This card looks very, very good with Werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a little less good outside of that, just because getting a card to move on turn 2 is a little bit tricky. Like, this is not if a card moved since last turn. This is if I play this on 3 and you move the Sam Shield on 3, that doesn't count. It has to move on 2, which is tricky. But I think, oh no, I just play this on 4 and 3 is a lot easier to move things on. So I think this card's gonna be good.
And
I think this
it's
is
like
a card you
Miles,
don't
right?
play on turn 3.
I said like Miles though, like if cards move turns in the future, the skills can be set to 0. It's not just single turn that
No.
can be set to 0.
So
Nope.
Miles
No?
only shows that because Miles is just an innate trigger that's always waiting for something to happen. However, Prowler is an on reveal, which means it's checking the prior turn no matter what is going on. So even if Miles is going to show it, then you can't play it on that turn. You can't play it until the turn passes. So it shows that you've done it, but you can't play him that turn anyway. You have to wait till the next turn, which would be when you gotta do it. And it would probably show something similar with the Prowler, right? Am I saying
This
that wrong?
one, basically, a lot of people, myself included, thought, hey, if I move a card on turn 5, would it discount the skills to 0? Fundamentally, no, I don't believe it does. It must happen the turn before you play this, or it doesn't happen at all.
Okay.
So, for better or for worse, but it's
Mhm.
tricky to curve out, because, like, Nightcrawler can move on 2. Silk really can't unless you predict where your opponent is going to play with priority. It's tricky.
Okay. Because okay, I was looking at it as if later in the game they still could cost 0.
Yeah.
But okay, so that it has to be specific to last turn, kind of situation. Like
Yeah.
okay, like Elixir.
I think so. I'm now questioning it because what if they're doing the thing where the period isn't connecting to the on reveal, and it's actually 2 separate things? And
Because
it's
like
just
what is
checking
Miles' text?
Oh, okay, that's fair.
If it works the way you're thinking, Tuck, which it could. I'll pull up Miles right now.
Now I don't.
I hope it. I don't hope it does. I do hope it doesn't, because that's confusing from an ability personally.
Oh god, my illiteracy is coming back to haunt me.
No.
I
Like
don't know
this is actually a thing where I think this is where we talked about before, where it's like, okay, put these abilities separate or whatever.
Yeah.
This should really have the ability separate for that question, because now I'm really questioning it. Miles says if a card moved last turn, this costs 1. So I'm gonna hope it's separate, because then maybe they'd say if a card moved last turn, set your Thieves' Tools to
Well,
zero.
do we
cost
pull up the
zero? I
dev
don't know.
video? Do we see how it
I have the
works?
dev video up. It doesn't do it. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't give you
Oh
the
my
answer,
goodness.
unfortunately.
Okay.
That is very unfortunate. 'Cause, yeah, that is.
Well, for what it's worth, yeah, in the dev video, you see it played as the first card played the game, and then it does it doesn't reduce the costs, and then you see it where a card did just move on the turn, and the Prowler reduces the cost, but you don't know the previous turn.
Hmm.
So I don't have an answer for you, which honestly, this is probably a thing Glenn will answer in the next few weeks, as someone will probably ask. And if
Yeah.
no one does, I will ask, because this is just
Shoot,
an
I don't
interesting
know.
question. I really don't believe it should be working that way.
But if it
Do-
does,
like,
that just makes the card even
If it
better,
does,
right?
if it does, the card's even better. And I already think the card's cool.
very much so.
Yeah.
The fun,
Which-
interesting thing is this works with Scream too. It doesn't have to be if your card moves. Which I like a lot.
Yeah, a card. Which into like what you're saying too. Like if we start looking at some of these abilities, the first one
Yeah.
having Flight Harness on reveal, give your highest power card here +1 power and move it to the right.
Give me that Human Torch value. I honestly thought this was Web Sling at first, and when I realized Web Sling didn't
Oh,
give +1
jeez.
power, I felt a little worse about Web Sling.
I mean, this card. I don't think Prowler goes and move just because this is.
I think it's the mass move stuff they were talking about.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is good, but like Human Torch move, this is slow.
Yeah. Agreed 100%. But this is again, it is just another cool card, which I think is awesome. And the fact that these are skills that he's making is really sick, and there's a lot of stuff you can do with that.
And moving to the right. Which also
Yeah, true,
is-
because I guess, what is it? Aranya moves to right, and
Nico
is it just
Spell.
Aranya?
Nico Spell.
Aranya, Nico Spell, and Flight
Nicola.
Harness. There you go. That is the only guaranteed rights. Otherwise, you've got flexibility and such, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Looks good.
It's pretty good. And then, of course, we have the Vibro Shock Gauntlets. On reveal, give your highest power card here +2 power. You get +1 energy next turn.
Really good. This is the the acid arrow, I think, for him, right? Like, there's no downside here. You don't even have to do anything. You just get power and energy
It
for
might
free,
be-
potentially.
I might say Acid Arrow is better just because
Clog.
log. Like there are certain locations where it's just like insta win.
Yeah.
This
fair.
one's
Yeah.
this one. Yeah, don't get me wrong. The analogy is there. This one seems very good.
Mm-hmm.
+1 energy, especially if you reduce it, is like, hey, that's a free wolf jump and a free next energy and free +2 power. Oh my god, that's nuts. It's
Yeah. I mean, he just has really good these Thieves' Tools are awesome.
oh yeah.
Yeah, no, they look really solid. And then the last one we have over here is the Remote Mines. On reveal, afflict the 2 highest powered enemy cards here with -2 power. 1 -4 seems pretty good. Or 0 -4 seems
0
pretty good.
-4. Yeah.
This one might end up being the worst of the skills. As weird as that sounds.
But like, still,
You think
this as the
Yeah, I mean,
worst
honestly, yeah.
with how good the other two are just puts those into perspective how good they are. That doesn't mean this is bad, just in comparison to the other two.
Yeah.
The value they add.
Reason this one would be the worst, which I think is actually a fair assessment, is because your deck wants to move already, and therefore the Flight Harness gains additional value.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That and this is not 4 power. This is Winds of Watum being 5 power, which is normally
Yeah.
very good.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is Luke Cage Shadow King makes it 0, which I think this is like a fundamentally much better low roll than like Kate Bishop Basic Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you mean? You don't love the basic arrow? Why not?
But I
For
mean,
some
if this is
reason-
0 though, like if it costs 0 in the moment too, even if they have
yeah.
that Luke Cage
Oh,
and stuff,
yeah.
like you're still doing
Wolf
all
Jump.
right. Yeah.
Right, like this is...
Oh,
I said it last...
Yeah.
I said it like last week on the Yap, and I'm going to stand by this, and I apologize for it, because I know people love the Wolf, and I love the Wolf too. Especially when we get this card in the game, the Wolf just keeps getting better and better, and it's going to get to a problematic point, honestly.
But see, hear me out. Wolf is a high-level card and takes thought to play. So therefore, since Second Dinner doesn't balance around high...
That's
high
the realest argument I've heard so far. That's the... I've had a lot of people say, no, Dance, you're wrong. That's the realest point I've heard so far.
It's, I mean, like, Wolf when you're just starting out hurts your head. Like,
Yes.
you ever try to do, like, 3 Wolves in an Agamotto list? It's so fun and so confusing. I love it so much.
Atrocious.
Oh, no, it's beautiful. You gotta try it, man.
Oh, no, I've done it. It's atrocious. And I love it.
Oh, no, it's like...
No, I'm saying
never... Oh,
it's beautiful, and I'm gonna say it's both beautiful and atrocious equally.
You never had a migraine like you do until you try to do multiple things.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I remember. I don't know. There was a werewolf deck I did try to play, and it just, my brain hurt. I said, I'm not playing this anymore. I'm going to play something that doesn't make me think.
Clearly that means, listen, if ramming your head into a cinder block wall still hurts, you clearly haven't rammed your head hard enough times. So just keep going at it.
You're so correct. You're so correct for that. Gosh, but I mean, so there are 8 actual cards plus the 3 that we're talking about with the Prowler. Well, we told Husky doing it. We like to rank these cards. We're gonna go from bottom, like the worst of our personal rankings. You can say based off of power level, personal favorites, however you want to rate them. It's just your own personal ranking. You can hold it to whatever level, even if you think the card's busted. You don't have to say it's the best one. Whatever. What's your number 8? The card you're personally least stoked for this season? I'm gonna start us because I'm pitching the question. Chameleon, just not stoked.
Yeah, I think it would be him. It's even if he's good, I don't think he goes in the stuff I'm playing.
Yeah, same.
I mean, that's honestly completely fair. Tuccrr, you got your last one. Who you have as your number 7 then?
Number 7.
I can't even say who anymore because we've got skills in here. So what?
My number 7 probably will be Man Spider.
Manspider.
Nah. Now that I've gained the power of literacy.
It's busted.
Yeah.
Literacy is busted. I'm not saying that Manspider.
Like, doubling is fundamentally a neuron activation type of thing. It's like, it looks too interesting, too fun, too potential high roll for me to rank it that low.
That's fair. I would honestly say my Web Sling's actually at that next slot for me then, for number 7. Yeah. That's where it is for me.
I'm going to have to keep a nebulous list just because I don't remember all the cards that are coming out this month, and I don't have a list in front of me.
Tuck can hit arrow keys and do it for you, but also there you go. Yeah.
But oh god, there's so many cards. Oh, I'm gonna. You're making my head
Do you want me to send
hurt.
you a zip file with every single card so you can look at them as we continue going through these?
That would be nice. Don't make it a zip
all
file,
right.
please. But
I'll zip bomb you, no sweat.
Yeah, thank you. What's it called? Web Sling looks less interesting to me just because it's not a deck building puzzle. It's like, okay, this goes and move things, maybe some werewolf things, maybe some horde things, and then other than that, I'm kind of... I would rather just run Ghost Spider, and Ghost Spider already exists.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say whoever went last would typically go again, but as he's going to open my zip bomb, I'll just move straight to number 6. This is probably where I'm going to have the most controversial opinion here, I think. This is, I think, where I'm going to put... I would say, honestly, Spider-Punk goes for me. Like, it doesn't seem the most interesting personally. So that's number 6 is Spider-Punk, I think, for myself personally. Tuck, what are you feeling?
I probably am gonna put Hydro Man at 6 for me.
That's fair. Entirely.
Ezekiel Sims. I'm like, everything else is doing something. Everything else, I think, higher is doing something different. This is doing secondary silk things. And it's kind of just like, I put this in the deck that's already good, and then don't make anything new.
That's fair, because that's probably my next one. That's probably my number 5 right there for Ezekiel Sims, personally.
Number 5. Tucker, do you have one as I'm stalling for time?
I'll put Zeke as my 5.
There you go.
Probably
fair, yeah.
Hydro Man for 5. I like his stuff, but he seems hard to make work. I would say.
Yeah, that's gonna be real.
It's like I'm going to have a fun time trying to build him, and then I'm gonna lose.
Yep, and that's probably what my next card is then as well. I'm just gonna keep putting him one higher than Husky for now. I think Hydro Man's my number 4. Like it's not top 3, but it is like. I'm not gonna pretend like it's amazing. I can do my one thing where I want to try to do the cable thing, and after that I got nothing.
Yeah.
3,
I'm probably going with, or 4. I'm probably going with. We're on 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Counting as hard.
Yes, 4.
Spider-Punk. It's neat. It's interesting, but it's everything else on the list is either bonkers ahead or much more interesting ahead.
That's fair. Tuck, is that? Do you think? What do you got? For your top 4?
My number 4
for
probably
your
be Websling.
Websling.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. That tracks. But do we all have the same top 3 of Prowler, Superior, and Noir? Do we all have the same top 3 there?
I haven't said Man Spider yet.
And I haven't said
I
Spider.
don't know. I missed the number.
I think
we
are in our top. That was our 5th card actually. I think we skipped a card. So, yeah.
Okay. So
Wait,
3.5.
Yeah. So
How many cards are coming out this season? I thought there was. Wait.
There's 10, right?
we have 10 cards.
I have number
We
8
started
for
at
Husky as Chameleon, into
have
Websling, into
10
Ezekiel
10
Sims.
cards.
We all can't count.
We have 10
It's
cards.
like
What's the word that we learned this yap that I should have learned actually a lot better apparently?
Oh God.
Oh, yeah.
Is enumerate
Enumeracy? Enumeracy, I think is the word you said.
Yeah.
Cool. There are 9.
Enumerate is to count.
I said 8
Enumeracy is-
so many times, and I'm so wrong. Huh.
It's okay. Count
Yeah, it definitely is. Okay, all right. Well, as I renumber these lists, what's everyone's 4?
Ooh. Probably going to go with Man Spider. Yeah, I think it's Man. Is it 4? What do I have left? I got that guy. I have 4. Don't I have?
Yeah, you still have
There
Man
are 10
Spider, Deafening Chord, Prowler, and Superior Spider-Man. Those are the ones you have left.
Oh,
Those are 4.
that was my number 4. That should be my number 5.
That's your number. Okay. So
Yeah,
then
Jesus.
How wrong am I in my list? Did I said
You
8 so
started at
confidently?
8.
we said
There's
8
10.
and there was 10 cards.
When we realized there was 10, instead of moving the list 2 down, I think we moved it 1 down.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I thought we said there were only 9. All right. Well, I'm gonna continue
We
fixing my
play
list.
the superhero math game, and none of us can count.
Again, all I want to
rather
see is my
depressing.
superheroes go fly around on the board. I don't numbers. Who knows? Honestly, at the end of the game, there's a reason that I'm not that Husky. I apologize for making this joke. There's a reason we're not in the Golden Gauntlet finals. There's a reason that Tucker is.
No.
The reason is Cerebro 2 against Move Bounce.
No.
That's the actual answer, but I'm saying for memes and bans, I'm saying the
Twice.
answer is counting.
Yeah, that's
No,
fair.
no,
I can't
no.
count.
Okay.
I
Well,
had
then
a really-
apparently
I had
as I'm
a
just-
really lucky tournament with my Black Knight deck, and that's how.
Takes skill to get lucky, you know.
You're
There you go.
right.
So okay. So wait, what did everyone say for number 5 then? As I'm fixing everything up, I guess.
Man Spider.
Man Spider? Okay. Man Spider is here. Tuck, who do you got for your number 5? As I'm just giving up on trying.
said Web Sling as my number 5.
You said that's number 6 and a half?
Okay.
I don't know.
So then I still
As
have.
we were going upwards.
Because I still have Spider-Punk, Superior Spider-Man.
I'm gonna go with
Prowler,
Tuck. I'll tell you what you said
Deafening
previously.
Okay.
Number 10 was Chameleon.
Mhm.
Number 9 was Man Spider. Number
Mhm.
8 was Hydra Man. Number 7 was Zeke, and number 6 was Web Sling. And Husky for yourself. 10 was Chameleon. 9 Web Sling. 8 Zeke. 7 Hydro, 6 Punk, 5 Man.
Oh, okay.
For me,
Yep.
10 was Chameleon, 9 Web Sling, 8 Punk, 7 Zeke, 6 Man. And I think Superior is actually where I'm putting at my 5th. Again, it's like I understand it's going to be probably good. I'm just also not super stoked about the idea.
All right, I'll put Spider-Punk at my 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Spider Punk as the number 5. All right, hopefully we're at 4. I've given up on trying to do that correctly at this point.
We should be 4.
Hopefully. What is everyone? What are we thinking for our number 4 for everyone here?
Probably Noir. It's like if he would work, I'd put him higher. As I'm listing this as like cards I'm excited for rather than raw power.
That's what I'm
except for
doing
the
too.
number one.
Yeah, I have Superior at my 4 for like personal what I think I'm gonna have fun with. Yeah,
That's fair. Yeah. I think then for my 4, I'm also going. It is probably Noir. I don't want it to be Noir, but it probably is Noir due to the fact that, again, I'm going to be coping just by playing the card. I don't even think I'll be able to use it, but it means we're all at our top 3s right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll start us off and just say that I think Man Spider's my 3. Right? Because then I've got Cord and then Prowler. Yeah, okay, cool. We do have 10 cards, like I said. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, like we got there. We
got there in the end. Anyway, Man Spider, I'm stoked about the card, but I do think that is what is it? It's my top 3. I'll put it there.
I'm gonna go with Prowler. I think he looks cool, but he's one of the Kate Bishop cards. Like, he's Merlin, he's Kate Bishop, he's Prowler. He's cool, he's good, he's a consistency piece, but he's not interesting enough for me to put him in any higher.
That's fair. Tuck, number
I'll
3.
put Noir as my 3.
Spider-Man Noir. Okay. I respect it. Pretty sure Husky and I were both coping on Noir harder, and we both put him lower than you did. So I respect that.
Well, I cope
All right.
more
So
than
each of us-
probably both.
It's fair. I know how much you love
I
Black
still
Knight.
play Black Knight, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, each of us only have, by the way, so 2 slots left. So, I mean, no point in saying number 2. I'm just going to personally say the card that I think I'm just most stoked for. And I wish it wasn't the tech card, but I am going to be saying, I think, just Deafening Chord is just... It just seems so good. I just love the... I want to play more Werewolf. I love it.
Deafening Chord, I think, is the most impactful, most interesting card to me. It's number 2, if you weren't keeping track as well as Dance has been. I would say I have been, but I'm not keeping track well. Is Superior Spider-Man. It's there's an interesting build of like, okay, how many green power things do I put in versus how many ramp things? And I like ramp. So, but Deafening Chord looks so nuts as like the other 1-cost interaction thing that we have is Electra, and this hits so much more things so much harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I go number 1 Deafening, number 2 Prowler.
That's fair, yeah. All right, because we've had enough problems with me keeping track of this list and not knowing how to count to 10, I'm gonna give us all a recap on what we've said here as we start wrapping up with this ep. Tuck had Deafening Chord as his number 1. Number 2 was Prowler. 3 was Spider-Man Noir. 4 was Spider-Man Superior version. Then you had Spider-Punk. Web Sling was rounding out your bottom 5 into Ezekiel Sims, Hydro Man, Man Spider, just barely eking away from the failure of Chameleon, as we can both agree on that. And I mean, I'm starting off with Deafening Chord as well, into the Prowler. I love both of them. I'm gonna go for Man Spider as my number 3, into Spider-Man Noir. Then I go Superior Spider-Man into Hydro Man. Then I go into Zeke, Spider-Punk, Web Sling, and Chameleon cannot. I mean, it's number 10. And Husky's agreeing, of course. I love all of us have the same top and bottom, but in the middle is where everything changes. because Husky's also got Deafening Chord as number 1, Superior Spider-Man is number 2, Prowler is number 3, Spider-Man Noir number 4, Man Spider number 5, Spider-Punk into the bottom half, Hydro Man, Ezekiel Sims, Web Sling, and Chameleon is going to be the final card.
Well, I think we got a good list going over here. But you know what else is very good and something that we need to keep tabs on, and something that we all love and enjoy, and that is going to be Not My Dance's YouTube channel, as well as his Twitch and his Twitter, where he posts absolutely fantastic content. That info will be down in the description below if you guys want to catch deck guides on every single new card that comes out, because Dance does that every single season. He puts out a new video on every single new card because he's just goated like that. Definitely check out all of Dance's info. And like Dan said earlier as well, if you guys aren't following Husky on Twitch, you guys need to freaking get with it. If you guys really want some really high-level, top-notch, not just content, but also entertainment as well. Because Husky is a very entertaining streamer. He talks to everyone in chat, very interactive. He gives you the good, he gives you the bad, because there's a lot of bad in chat, and he has to deal with them. He's got to whip some people into shape at all times, but he does really great. That's why he bans, but he does a great job doing it. Like, Husky is a great streamer. If you guys are not following Husky, you guys really, really need to be following him, because it is just absolutely fantastic content, and there's no reason for you to be missing that stuff. So Dance and Husky's info will both be down in the description below. And once again, Husky, thank you so much for hopping on the podcast. We really appreciate it. Love the takes too. Like, being able to have additional insight that, like, topics that Dance and I really probably wouldn't have grasped as, not even like consistently, just in general, to kind of understand the cards and like mechanics and meta better, I think is very impactful and helpful.
Yeah, and it's very nice to be on with people who can actually read, unlike myself. So.
Exactly. It's a thing. It's a real thing. Oh, I forgot to say it. I'm also just stoked. I didn't get the chance to say it because we have so much stuff other with Husky, but I just want to throw out, I get casting Golden Gauntlet this weekend with Regis. We're gonna Regis and I'm starting off the Golden Gauntlet, so very stoked about that. Can finally say it. Been waiting for like months to be able to talk about that, but I'm so happy we're here. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there at the end of this, but appreciate everyone hanging out. If you made it to the end of the video, let us know in the comments down below. Use the word birthday in your comments. However you want to use it. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to mention Husky, but just use the word birthday if you've made it to the end. Thank you so much, y'all, for hanging out.
It's been real once again. Thank you, Husky, for joining us. And this is the end of episode number 64 of Marvel Yap. It's been real. God bless, and laters. Hey, yo, what is going on, guys? Got episode number 64 of Marvel Yap for you guys today. Today we're going to be going over the 18...